All right, welcome to the afternoon show. Look, we were just jamming to just the two of us because guess what, Ken? It's just the two of us. Matt McGill has left the building. I tell you what, he is somewhere having a I'm off work moment. You know what I'm saying?
Man, listen. That's why I don't mess with Matt McGill after work.
Yeah, I'll tell you that. Guys, you're listening to the afternoon show with LaDonna, Raeh, Ken Duncan. Man, back from the weekend. I can use some more sleep, man.
Oh my
I
goodness.
normally come in all energetic, but then Matt Rash on the board played just the two of us. And that's
Matt
one of
Rash.
those songs that you just go, you know what, I'm ready to take a nap. And that's how I
Yeah,
feel
that
right
song
now.
didn't help Matt.
It did not. It did not. We need
I'm
some
like,
energy. And it's
so
humid outside too.
see, when I was Matt's age, I could bounce up.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Not today. Not
Man,
today.
look, and when I hang out in parties, everybody's having parties. I've been at
Are they
several
parties or get-togethers? Because
get-togethers.
I remember partying. You were dancing the whole night and sweating and changing your deodorant. Or putting more on. Now you just chilling. Where's the food? Where's the drinks? And you
That's
sit down and network.
my gut. I should stand up and let Facebook see.
Please don't. We don't have enough widescreen for
I,
it. How was your weekend?
just going to people's houses, sitting down,
Mm-hmm.
eating, drinking, and it's like, are you kidding me?
Right.
And it's just been around older people. I'm sitting down more.
What is it like walking in the like when you come in the door? Does the party begin?
The party starts, and it's like all the girls be googling and eyeballing me and stuff, and they be like, "Hey, what your name is?"
Oh, so those are the type of parties you go to where they don't
Yeah.
speak proper English.
I go to parties where there's a very low IQ level.
Uh-huh. So
And-
you want to be the big fish.
Well, the big fish, and and women need their rent paid
Mm-hmm.
or a new washer and dryer. No, actually, check this out. I had a friend. I'm giving you some stories. I had a friend. He's messing around on his wife, and he had a side piece.
Mm-hmm.
This fool bought a girl from Inglewood a washer and dryer.
Okay. That was a come up.
I never knew that. He said he just hated going to the neighborhood because it was
Yeah.
so sus.
Right.
But I'm like,
Where'd they meet? Not at the laundromat, I guess.
probably somewhere public.
Okay.
These little young girls, with all their thighs out and whatnot, they be looking for plugs.
I think that we should kind of change that narrative. I don't know if it'll ever change because somewhere along the lines, some women have been taught that they should look for someone like that. For instance, I told you about my new, I call him my new father now, the 83-year-old, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So how was my weekend, right? So my 83-year-old father versus my 75-year-old father. Except this one is driving and getting around, barely on a walker. Well, I went to go and pay a visit so that I can
Still
see
83-year-old.
right to see what he needed. And he needs a caregiver, number one. He needs her to come in, him or her to come in, at least twice a week. And here's the sad part. Today I was supposed to take him to get his driver's license renewed.
Oh,
And
you want him on the road?
I was gonna ride with him because you have to go with him because his license are expired. So I would have to drive him there, and then he would have to get him, renewed. Long story shorter, he didn't answer the phone at the time I was supposed to be there. So I'm like down the street, but he's not answering. And then I'm like, well, maybe he changed his mind, and I would have been glad because I got a lot of stuff to do. Okay, but he told me Monday morning. It turns out my dear friend fell out of the bathtub,
Ouch.
couldn't get up, but somehow he got to that phone to answer it the fifth or sixth time that I called. And he said, I'm on it was like I've fallen, I can't get up type deal. And I was like, oh my God, what if that was my dad? What if that was anybody's dad? You know what I'm saying? But this is somebody's dad. And I said, Mr. So-and-so, I'm going to call 911. So I called 911. I waited there and they came. And I was like, well, how are you going to get in the building? How are you going to get in this house? They have a way. There's keys. I guess I never knew this. I never thought about it. But they were able to get into his building, get up there and get him off of the floor. It turns out he slipped on a lot of water. Didn't hit his head, but he was in a little bit of pain, but not enough to go to the hospital. Here's where I'm thinking. The paramedics actually almost convince you to not go to the hospital. I don't know if that was their uh their goal, but they kept saying, "Are you sure you're okay? Because if you go to the hospital, you're gonna wait for hours." Well, if you tell me that, I don't want to go either. But what if he heard something?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I can't make them take him because I'm not his guardian. You know what I'm saying? But I was listening to. I stayed on the phone with them the whole time, and they kept giving him reasons why he should not go. And then when they came downstairs, and I said, well, what is it that he needs to do next? She said he wants to get to that driving appointment, and if he's still in pain, or if he's in pain, you can take him. So that she said, because if we take him, that's kidnapping. I said, if I take him, it's kidnapping. So what are we doing? And she laughed and said, well, it's up to him, and left. And I'm like, how is America treating our elders? That's a very scary place to be. On that note, we're gonna go to break, and when we come back, I'll tell you about the white party I went to.
Uh-oh.
That was a real party
All right.
right there. All right, guys, on the afternoon show, make sure you share the show. We're on Facebook Live. I want to see your comments, and you can give us a call at 773-591-1690. I noticed that Matt's callers hung up because we came on. They can stay on. It's okay. You can call back. 773-591-1690. We'll be right back.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Ada S. McKinley provides behavioral and mental health services at 4 Southside clinics. They serve people of all ages with a strong focus on therapy, counseling, and youth crisis. Their counselors and mental health professionals are well-trained and experienced in treating problems caused by emotional distress and/or trauma. To schedule an appointment, call 312-761-1099 or visit adasmckinley.org.
Lung cancer is common among East Asian descendants, especially females.
We understand our patients have different backgrounds and circumstances, which is why we promote nearly 1,000 health screenings each year, like the CLUES program, which screens high-risk, often uninsured patients for cancer.
If it wasn't for the CLUES program at Northwestern Medicine, we wouldn't know my mom had a lung cancer.
Because we treat our community the same way we treat our patients, better.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, inviting you to join me weekdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on WVON. I am bringing you a national perspective on all the happenings in the Black community and, of course, politics. It's talk radio for us, by us, and this is where America listens.
It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays from 6 to 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown at 95th. Stop and go traffic 23 minutes. I-57, Ryan I-80, no delays. 15 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan I-80, 94. Slow go, 18 minutes. Stevenson, New South Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State. Stop and go traffic 38 minutes. Eisenhower Wolf to Post Office. Stop and go traffic 34 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare. Bumper to bumper traffic 45 minutes. And Eden's Montrose Cook. Smooth sailing 14 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago. Strong storms possible, high of 85 and a low 69. Tomorrow, scattered storms, high of 82 and a low of 67. It's currently 86 degrees and cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
It's so we love it, forget hard. Forget.
All right, give me some pick me up. Now we're listening to the afternoon show because, woo, I tell you what, LaDonna Raeh, Ken Dunkin, KD, LD. They used to call me LD back in the day because it's LaDonna with the capital D.
Oh, that's what Ray.
Yeah, not learning
I
disability. I was
figured
an
that out.
honor student.
Really?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
I really don't have to go back
Small
and forth
bus,
with
Donna?
you. But actually,
All right,
no,
so
I was
back to your white party.
yeah, the white party that I went to, by the way, and I wasn't on the short bus. My mother took me to school every day.
So I bet black people name a white party. I'll put some money on that. Probably around Memorial Day.
Let me tell you about this white party. First of all,
With all black
it
people.
is at a palace. Okay, it is a palace that is black owned out in Crete. And my auntie Frankie and my uncle Hayes, they did their 19th wedding anniversary. 19 years they've been married.
Nice.
And it's such a beautiful scene. It's just every time I go, they've added something new. And here's the thing. They're the owners of like First Impressions printing over there, and they came together as a business, as a couple. They're a power couple, a true power couple, and that's what power couples do. They come together. Let me tell you about Auntie Frankie. She looks dang good because it's her birthday too.
Yeah.
She looks dang good. She's 80. I gotta get the
Really?
year. Yeah, she
I
looks
saw
like,
the picture of
and
her.
she looks like my grandmother. Like my grandmother in her best days. I swear our noses, I call her Aunt Frankie, but she's really a friend of mine, a real close friend of mine, because her sister was like my mother-in-law. And that's her sister. They took me into the family. So I
Wow.
go to the white party every year. Also, Black excellence. I experienced a lot of it this weekend, which is what I love to talk about on Mondays. I went to Ooh Wee It Is, and hopefully they will advertise with us. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you that. I had to say the name of the restaurant because, first of all, I was going
Is
there.
that the ramen spot?
No, ramen? But how's that excellent? Ramen noodles? No, we're talking about lamb chops,
What is that?
roast beef, macaroni and cheese, greens. We're talking about actual soul food.
Mm.
And they have really good that's sweet tea or Kool-Aid that they give you. I swear you got to drink water after because it's so sweet, but it's so good. Anyway, I walked in and I saw I saw a person that's friends with my son's aunt. And I spoke to her. I was surprised to see her there. But anyway, there's history there. My kids were with me. When I say we saw Black excellence, the sitting, the white linen tablecloths, the silverware, the robot, the serving robot, the floor walker, the service. They have another separate room that is you can buy nostalgic candy and cereal.
Oh, this was cute.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Wow.
I'm telling you, because they just reopened in March. They're under new ownership. So there's a rumor that the husband and wife got a divorce and lost and decided to close Ooh Wee It Is. I don't know what the true story is, but
yeah.
but does
yeah.
it matter,
Yeah.
right? Because I got into it with whoever answered the phone. I was like, listen, word on the street says this is why you all closed. Is this the same ownership? Who owns it? He was like, well, that's a lie. I said, what is your name? I think he gave me a fake name, but I told him, I said, I'm gonna come anyway. Here's why I mentioned this. Do you still patronize a Black business because you got into it or had a disagreement? I'll say a disagreement with the person on the phone when you call. Is that like the first sign of I'm not going there? Because if we are truly family, there's a study called kinfolk, extended kinship when it comes to black people. Okay, the founder, no, not the founder, the CEO of the Heritage Project or whatever that is, he studied that. Okay, extended kinship. If you think about it, we always say that's my cousin. Like I said, Aunt Frankie is my aunt, and she's not really my aunt. So if we have this extended kinship, do we always have to be on our P's and Q's in order to can we get past the gatekeeper and get to the experience? What would that turn you away? I just want to know. Would that turn you away? Because we went back and forth for a minute.
Yeah, and that first impression, the phone call,
Yeah.
the greeting, that's I take that stuff very serious.
Yeah.
Because that's a part of the experience.
It is.
And you should be on your best behavior. When you're in work mode, you have to be in work mode, especially if you're in hospitality. My thing is, if you're sick, don't come to work. If you're in
I say that, yeah.
depressed mindset, do not come to work, because that has a direct impact on you. Here's some of the organizations that have it right. Chick-fil-A, when you walk in,
they're not black owned.
Well, okay, yeah. Well, I'm big on customer service.
All right.
No matter how you look at it, and
they know how to grin and take your money.
Right.
I'm talking about us. We don't know how to grin and take each other's money. We just don't.
If the food is delish, I'm going.
We will go run to Yelp on a black owned business in 2 seconds flat. If you are rude, mean, or made me feel indifferent, I'm gonna run and tell everybody how you guys suck. I'm not saying me,
but the problem,
I'm saying that's what we do.
Right.
And then when we close down and everybody else comes into the neighborhood that don't look like us, we're all up in arms. So what is it that we have to do to keep hope alive in our black businesses, in our black communities? Because every time we zero tolerance it, somebody else is going to come in. Same thing happens in politics. When somebody is in that powerful seat and they make a mistake, and we're ready,
or three,
or
five,
five,
or six.
several. But what steps did you take to say, hey, you need to curb that. You need to address that. Well, if we just sit back and wait for you to bump your head, you know what I'm saying? And then when you're gone, whoever replaces you is 10 times worse. We really have to pull this ish together.
Yeah, and that's a valid point. And you can look at it from a different set of the prism, if you will. And we can get into it. I mean, from the mayor's race to the speaker to state senators, state reps, aldermen,
to restaurants that have closed down, to restaurants who didn't have enough business for whatever reason. But you'll go to Ed DeBevick's and get treated like, you'll go there and get treated like crap on purpose. You see what I'm saying? So
that's their job.
Yeah. Right.
And that's a good analogy.
It's just we're talking about teen takeovers. We're so quick to pull the rug, man. Teen takeovers ain't nothing but January 6th. Okay, January 6th was January 6th was a teen takeover. Those were babies. Those were kids.
Yeah,
that running up the Capitol and breaking things. They're like toddlers. For real.
There were just some shenanigans. They meant no harm. They were just sort of doing a display of democracy.
They weren't displaying anything except ignorance, and they were setting a precedence.
Man.
But see, the rules are different for you and them. The rules are different. And see, until we understand that, because see, we want equality and we don't have it. Guess what, people? We don't have it. So stop expecting the same outcome when you do something stupid. If you do something stupid, the outcome is going to be what it always has been. You're screwed. Now, on that note, we're going to go ahead and take a nice little break. News, traffic, and weather. And when we come back, hit those phone lines. 773-591-1690. Dr. LaDonna Raeh, Ken Dunkin, State Rep. We'll be right back.
Right black, y'all.
Hope you're staying dry out there, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here's what's happening in your local and national news. A new batch of tickets for the Obama Presidential Center will go on sale Wednesday at 10 a.m. local time. Tickets will cover visits from January 4th through January 31st of next year, with a limited number available for October. Museum admission is the only ticketed part of the center. Tickets have been in high demand since sales began in May. In other news, Mayor Brandon Johnson is widely expected to run for re-elections, though the timing of his formal announcement remains unclear. WVON's intern Caleb Patton has more.
With 6 months left until voters decide on the mayor's race, Mayor Johnson has yet to announce whether he's seeking a second term. Live Monday morning on the Midday Show with WVON's Cleopatra Draper, the mayor seemed to deflect several of her attempts to get an answer.
That's clear, right? I mean, the city of Chicago is safer. The city of Chicago is becoming more affordable. Listen, it doesn't mean that we don't have our challenges.
Then, when asked a second time, he said, "There's more to be done."
I wish more Chicagoans could see the entire city of Chicago the way I've experienced.
And finally, when asked, he simply said that being mayor is one of the joys of his life.
What do you want from us? What do you want from Black Chicago?
Anthony, line 1.
There it is.
To make it on the 2027 ballot, filing petitions must be in by October 26th. Currently, there are nearly a dozen declared candidates vying for Mayor Johnson's job. Caleb Patton, Our News Now, 1690 WVON.
In other news, President Trump says Iran should compensate the world for harm caused by the regime over the past 50 years. His comments come as negotiations between the U.S. and Iran continue. Iran has demanded compensation for the U.S. for damages from the 5-month war. Trump says Iran should instead pay for people he says the country has killed over the decades. And jury selection in the murder trial of the man accused of killing Tupac Shakur has started in Las Vegas. Dwayne Davis is accused of orchestrating the 1996 murder and faces life in prison without parole if convicted. The Clark County District Attorney's Office has submitted a list of potential witnesses that contains over 200 names. Shakur was sitting at a red light when a white Cadillac pulled up next to him and opened fire on September 7th, 1996. He was shot multiple times and died 6 days later. I'm Logan Page, and that's what's happening in your news now on WVON 1690 AM.
Rent a boat, bring your own, or fish from shore. The Forest Preserves of Cook County has more than 40 fishing sites across Cook County. This message brought to you by the Forest Preserves of Cook County. Visit fpdcc.com to explore the Forest Preserves.
Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
I was having a medical procedure, and I wanted to ensure my kids would get my home should something happen to me. I called attorney Ted London. He provided the land, trust, and power of attorney. Now my kids will not have to go through the probate process.
After the death of my husband, I had to get my affairs in order. I called attorney Ted London. Now my family and home will not have to go through the probate process.
Seven 721-3333.
You never know who's going to stop by WVON.
I'm going to sound like Roger Goodell. The Chicago Bears with the 25th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. Dylan Thieneman from Oregon. Brother, Big D, you are a Chicago Bear. How does it feel, man?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it feels great. Amazing. Can't even describe it.
One of our legendary Chicago Bears. Number 22, Matt Forte. What's happening, brother? Welcome to WVON.
Hey, what's happening, man? Good to be here.
Joining me, Kevin Warren. He is the president and chief executive officer for the Chicago Bears. Kevin, welcome back to WVON.
Yeah, always good to see you and good to be back.
We are the talk of Chicago. 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th. Stop and go traffic 26 minutes. I-57 Ryan I-80. No delays, 15 minutes. Bishop Ford Ryan I-80 94. Slow go 18 minutes. Stevenson to Sable Lakeshore Drive To the Tri-State, stop and go traffic 34 minutes. Eisenhower Wolfville Post Office, stop and go traffic 39 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare is at a snail speed 45 minutes. And Eden's Montrose Lake Cook smooth sailing 15 minutes. Your weather for today: Chicago, strong storms possible. High of 85 and a low of 69. Tomorrow, scattered storms, high of 82 and a low of 67. It's currently 86 degrees and cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1698.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
I love it. Because, Mama used to say, what Mama used to say to you?
If you don't fix
Mama
your
used
A
to
down,
say, you know what? What did Mama used to say to you that you had to unlearn? Like stay in a child's place was one of them.
man, 4 boys, 2 girls.
Oh, she
So-
told y'all to
And
just,
Cabrini Green in a 19-story building
yeah.
in Cabrini. So she cussed at us all day.
Really?
For the most part.
Mm-hmm.
We were very aggressive and silly.
All right. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Guys, you're listening to the afternoon show on WVON 1690, 63 years and counting. Make sure you hit those phone lines, 773-591-1690. We were talking about when I talked about the gatekeeper at the restaurant and how I pushed through and still went. And it's because I was determined to experience a Black-owned business because I wanted to give him a piece of my mind. I got there looking for him. I think he gave me a fake name, but I think the floor walker by the name of Steven was really him. So anyway, I don't want to shout him out in a negative way. What I want to do is tell
already
you
did it.
I want to tell you that when I got there, it was totally opposite of what I experienced over the phone. I think we might feel the need to defend. The word is out that because of this horrific divorce situation that they were no longer open. And so someone may have felt the need to defend. I think sometimes we feel the need to defend, and it can get personal. But if you look past that and you just stick to, listen, no matter what happened with the old establishment, we're under new management, new ownership, and we want you to come out. And I tell you what, the food is still great.
Okay. What location were you at?
86 and
Jan Ryan?
Cottage Grove.
Okay.
Yeah, 86 and Cottage Grove. So I was able to pull up, plenty of parking, walk
Right.
in. I'm telling you, the music was great. It was
That must be new
throwback
over
music.
there.
It was great. They are new. They've only been open. You weren't listening. I said they
Why aren't
opened
they
in
advertising
March.
with WVON?
I just said that when we started.
But why aren't they?
I'm saying it now. I hope that they advertise with VON. But the reason why I'm bringing this
Was the
up,
food good?
you weren't listening for real. I said the food it was delicious.
Did you bring any for me?
I ate it all.
I'm your co-anchor.
I know. We'll have to order from there.
You will have to order from there and bring your gas on.
I sure will.
If I was Atiba, you'd be.
No, Atiba would be bringing me some. Atiba's so sweet. He would be making sure that I had something to eat, and I got to learn from that. Yeah. But I made sure my guy had some. My guy.
I'm your work side piece.
I know.
When Atiba's not here.
Side. So watch this. Somebody put in the chat, and I'm going to get to the phone lines. James, Graham, Charles, don't you dare. Oh, wait a minute.
You lost B. Smith.
Hold on, Charles. Let's get Charles on the line.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing swell-tastic. How are you?
I'm doing good. Listen, I really didn't know what the topic is. I tuned in and I heard you comparing the team takeover, making an analogy to the team takeover, what happened January the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
You serious? Are you serious?
I am. I'm very serious.
You couldn't.
Get her, Charles.
I am. You can get me all you want. I'm so serious. Go ahead.
No.
Come for me. I'm ready.
So at what point do we want our kids to reach for something, higher? Why do we keep on dumbing our kids down?
I'm not dumbing them down, Charles.
Oh, yes, you are.
No, because
Yes, you
here's
are.
the
When you
thing.
excuse that behavior.
Let me ask you a question. when you're a kid and you're watching television and you look up to politicians, teachers, leaders, or leaders that are in office, and they can do that and then get away with it. What do you think they're learning? I'm not saying that. Yeah, of course we need to encourage them to not do that. No, don't you do that? Because had those all been black people, it would have been a
They would have been
bloodbath.
shot down.
Exactly, it would have been a bloodbath. We know that. But I led with the rules for them are different than the rules for us. So
And we know that.
absolutely, but we know that, and we still do dumb stuff. Now those
LaDonna,
teens, what?
Let's let Charles finish.
Oh,
his
I'm
statement.
sorry, I got excited.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
So,
Thank
so
you, Ken.
you know, I'm a product of public housing. I'm a product of public education. I did things in public housing that I'm not so proud of, but I can tell you what we did do. When we saw Miss Johnson, we saw Miss Jones, we saw those parents, we got an attention and we showed respect. We might be walking past the church, we talking crazy, doing whatever. We get to that church, hey, I'm 65 years, I'm 66 years old. So that's as a little kid. So we began to lose our moral compass. We did things to make our community proud, not disrespect our. That's disrespectful when they go down there twerking and doing that. And nothing good comes out of that. Now
When they
go
go down there dancing, that's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful. It's disrespecting themselves. They're disrespecting
What should they
our race.
be doing? What should they be doing?
I'm gonna tell you what they can do. They can start right here in their community, and if they can organize like that, they can start right in their community. Start with a cleanup campaign. All they gotta do is look around and see how much trash and stuff in their community that we put there. Not the white man. The white man don't bring that trash and throw it there. We could start right there with teaching them what their responsibility is. I'm telling you, we had a moral compass. I just told you how in public housing how we felt.
But we're talking about children who are being raised in some situations where twerking is okay. Twerking is a form of dancing. The word twerking sounds horrible, but it's a form of dancing. So because they're twerking on the lawns, which I read in one of my neighborhood chats, she said they were being disrespectful, twerking on my lawn. And I said, but they weren't tearing up any property. She said, who said that they weren't tearing up any property? I'm talking about twerking on my lawns. This lady went back and forth with me about twerking on her lawn.
Well, okay, I can understand that when you got a knowledge, but that's what they're doing. What they're doing is they're being disrespectful to themselves. If nobody else, what good come out of them going to somebody? Oh, I could twerk, I could do this on your life. Tell me what good comes out of that. What good comes out of that?
I'm not defending it. I'm just saying that when we call these things teen takeovers, the teens never called it that. The media did. The media labeled it a teen takeover and shined an ugly light on it and showed you pictures of people twerking.
Yeah. No,
they were twerking at the house picnic.
Yeah, no, I can believe. Look, I can believe that the media, somebody came up with that name. But okay, I remember when there were black-owned grocery stores. I remember when the majority of the gas stations actually were black-owned. So something is wrong with them. They don't have any pride in terms of what black is.
But who's giving them you're talking about businesses that were, now I know we're going off on a deep end here, but if we had businesses, we had those black-owned businesses, right? We don't have them anymore. What is it called? Rainbow Cone. They just celebrated 100 years the other day.
Absolutely.
How many of our businesses can celebrate 100 years? Not many. Our businesses are since the other day, or since 2 years ago, or 5 years ago, because nobody is being groomed to take over the business. So where's the pride coming from? Where's the disconnect?
Well, see, that's what they lost their moral. It's morality. They've lost their moral compass in terms of, like I said, we're talking about people having pride and supporting, their own businesses. They're there for them support now. But somebody came up with the idea that we need to stop them from having these black businesses. How do we do that? I mean, they closed down the gas station. That was systematically. They closed those gas stations down systematically.
Who closed them down? The owner or the city?
No, I would say Shell was in it. I would say Standard was in it, and then they moved the black folks out of them, and then they brought some other people from that's not a part of our community. They come in and sell us garbage.
Okay.
They sell us garbage.
Well, thank you,
They,
Charles.
you know,
Thank you, Charles. You're right on point. I'm not disagreeing
kinda
with you.
lost-
Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and grab James. James, you're live. Real quick. Sorry. I know I said real quick and he talked forever, but it was
We
we
got to
was
take a
going
break
somewhere.
right now.
Go ahead, James.
Okay. Hey, good afternoon.
Hey, what's up, James?
Hey, my man. I hope you heard the mayor earlier today where he popped it real clean and explained why and how he saw how he saw the problem in Chicago. But I wanted to comment on what you said about black business. If we run into a problem, we'll complain when we run into a problem naturally, like anybody would. But when I heard Willie Wilson complaining about the mayor, that was very equivalent to a guy prospering in a city right now, ran by a black mayor, who's doing everything he can to make it safe, to make it prosperous, and try to keep businesses alive and citizens thriving. He still found reason to complain. And this is what we have classically done. When we get good service, we won't point out what's good. We will try to find everything that's bad. And Willie Wilson did that. He did that classically, how Negroes do when they want to denounce black leadership.
Thank
Your
you.
thoughts, please.
Thank you, James.
Hold on.
Thank you. Yeah.
Let James stay on.
It's time to go to traffic and weather, and we'll
Now
be
you wanna
right
go on a
back with
break,
that
huh?
thought.
I'm going to respond to that, James, when we come back
I
from
know
the
you
break.
will. And
We'll
I'm
be-
looking up how to twerk. Hold on. We'll be right back.
We'll be right.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This August, renew your spirit only on VON TV. Watch Behind Our Walls, a powerful documentary following incarcerated men pursuing a college education through the Calvin Prison Initiative. It's an inspiring story of determination, redemption, and the transformative power of second chances.
It's a lot of bad things that happen in prison. It's a dark place. You have all the time in the world. So you can either become a better human being or you become a worse human being. And the choice is yours.
Then spend time with Serenity, Strength, and Style with Sylvia Ewing and friends. Uplifting conversations about wellness, self-care, resilience, and living with intention. August on VON TV offers stories that stay with you long after they're over. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, the WVON app, or at VON.tv. VON TV, for the culture, by the culture.
When it comes to celebrating our Chicagoland communities, Wintrust is here for. We're proud to support small businesses in our own backyards, like All United Imports Incorporated, imported foods from Africa, Jamaica, and the Caribbean islands, located at 2525 South Blue Island Avenue in Chicago. Nancy's Home Care, support for seniors, individuals with disabilities, and those facing terminal illness at 10146 Southwestern Avenue in Chicago.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
It's Rufus Williams.
Chris, good morning. Welcome to VON.
Ain't no jive on the morning drive with Rufus Williams. Thank you, brother.
Weekdays at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
And good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown at 95th, stop and go traffic, and there is an accident on the exit ramp Dan Ryan off ramp to Stevenson Expressway, 22 minutes. I-57 right, I-80, 8-minute delay, 23 minutes. Bishop Ford right, I-80, 94, stop and go traffic, 21 minutes. Stevenson to Sable, Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, stop and go traffic, 40 minutes. Eisenhower Wolftown Post Office, slow go, 39 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic, 44 minutes. At Eden's, Manchester Cook, smooth sailing, 14 minutes. The weather for today, Chicago. Strong storms possible, high of 85 and a low of 69. Tomorrow, scattered storms, high of 82 and a low of 67. It's currently 86 degrees and cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And inside me there's no room for doubt that it won't be too long.
Welcome back.
And
Ken,
I-
you got something to say? I'm twerking. I just learned how to twerk. It's on YouTube.
LaDonna, don't do that.
What? It says good for your back.
Do you know how to dance?
Yeah, I do. I
Really?
just don't know how to twerk.
Okay, well, you got to practice at home.
Right.
I'm not coming to see you twerk.
I can't do it here. Everybody else is doing it here.
You are not Logan Page's age.
It doesn't matter that I'm not Logan Page's age. I think that if older people were to do twerking, they would straighten out their back. It's just like going to the chiropractor. Well,
Okay.
you were going to respond to
Hold,
our
hold
gentleman.
on. Put James back on the line. He's back. You can do it from where you...
No, I cannot.
Yes.
James.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes,
James.
sir, I'm here.
James, I appreciate you
Yes, sir.
calling. We talked on Friday, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, we did.
So, unfortunately, I did not listen to the mayor's talk with Cleopatra.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I do know. Mayor Brandon Johnson is someone that I personally like. I really, truly want to see he do well for not just myself, but for the city. And I will always stand by that. My question is, what happened to the point where he is not controlling a simple majority amongst colleagues in City Hall on most of his key legislation? What happened, or what's going on to the point where he doesn't have a simple majority or support down in Springfield? What happened to the point where Governor J.B. Pritzker is just dogging him out? And really, no one's really looking out for the city. It's really, to me, it's bigger than any mayor. And again, you're talking to someone who want to see the mayor do well, because if the mayor is doing well, that means no one's running against him. My question to you is, why are so many people running against this mayor, our mayor? And what is that I'm missing? But I think this argument of him being black, which we knew before we voted for him, et cetera,
That's right.
it's landed on deaf ears. And so just ask me why he doesn't have a simple majority in the House and Senate of getting things done that he wants, like we did for Ron, like we did for Daley. And I know it's apples and oranges in terms of comparison, and I know what their colors were. Why does he have a simple majority of getting support in Springfield? What's happening with some of his key legislation where they're sabotaging him? I just want to know. And again, lastly, why are so many people running for that seat?
Okay. Let me answer that simply by saying I grew up in Chicago during the 70s and 80s. When I graduated from college in 1981 from Illinois State University, this was
Awesome.
back in the day we had to mail in a resume
Oh yeah.
to get a job. I had to mail in maybe 30 resumes to get an interview.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because of my zip code, my area code, and my name.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Simply because I was black.
Got it.
That is very evident today. Simply because he's black, they want to try to find every kink in the armor they can. And simply because he's black, they're running. They're saying we can do the same job better. Nobody could have managed that crisis any better, because imagine how many billions it would have took to manage people to go back. Because you got to house them, feed them, medicate them, then transport them.
You talking about the illegals?
I wish you could go to the county. Hold tight. I wish you could go to the county jail on a Friday night and see how they process people down there. Where you got 100 people in a cell that hold 20, one toilet, somebody dope sick laying on the floor. That's what we had in the city at police stations, roughly. So he managed that. Okay, and all these people who running for mayor, save your money, because this man is doing an admirable job. And heavy is he who wears the crown.
Absolutely.
So if you get the job, it's, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Willie Wilson and others who are spoilers, if you get the job, I want to see how you manage it, Mr. Man and Aid. Okay? I want to see that.
Yep.
I wish you well. I wish you open up a Willie Town somewhere where there's 10 or 12 stores called Willie Wilson. There used to be a guy named Harvey Collins who had 10 stores on 71st Street. I wish Willie Wilson would do that. You feel me? Teach people how to make some money. Yeah. Maybe he is. I don't know. I really don't know. But I see him giving. And once again, when you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. They'll line up.
Right. So James,
you know
so you don't know why the mayor does not control a simple 26 votes in city council out of 50. You don't know why
no, he didn't.
He eventually. First off, we need to stop making comparison between Brandon Johnson and Harold Washington. There's no comparison. Different time, different era. You had someone who was ensconced in political science in every step, machination that you could imagine. Harold Washington was a state senator. He was a U.S. congressman. The man was dynamic on so many levels. That's just unfair to have it. It's unfair to make that comparison. But I would like you to answer the question, James. James, you have not answered my question.
Let me tell you this here. It took Harold Washington 59 years to get to the mayor's seat. Brandon Johnson,
can you answer my question, James?
Well, he has not answered your question.
I can't answer that question.
He said because he's black, we should vote for him.
I don't know what's in the minds of these people, why they running.
That's his opinion.
No,
I'm saying why does he at least have? I mean, look.
Lori
Lightfoot was having.
I was coming out of college with a degree in hand just because I was black. I had to strive harder.
So how long should we wait? How long should the citizens wait in terms of addressing property taxes, fees, fines being raised every single year by the city, not Donald Trump, not the governor, but in the city of Chicago?
Okay, let me answer that.
So because he's black, we should get hit across the head financially?
Okay. How long did they wait during Daley? 23 years.
I'm talking about the mayor doesn't seem to have control, James. He doesn't seem to have control of city council or friends in Springfield. What is going on?
Control of city council, my man.
Let me break this up. Okay, this has turned into
I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on in City Hall.
But see, you're trying to figure it out through James. James doesn't have your answers. You have to do your own research, which you know how to do. I know that we're trying to put this out there. I get that. But at the same time, we got other people calling in. So, James, thank you so much for calling. As I ended the call before the break. Now we've gone past, we're back at another break, and we still have people waiting. I want to acknowledge everyone that's waiting. Please hold. We will be back. We've got a guest coming on at 4 o'clock. So we will get to you, I promise. And thank you for your patience, guys. It's the afternoon show with Dr. LaDonna Raeh and Ken Dunkin. Can't be getting into it with people that don't want to give you answers. He don't have your answer. I said it in all the black terms.
He did not answer.
Okay. All right. Know when to move on, know when to hold up, and when to fold up. We'll be right back.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. Willie Wilson discusses mayoral campaign. Chicago residents asked to use less water. Jones Act waiver extended. And NCAA partners with FBI to stop sexploitation. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
President Trump has signed new executive orders aimed at limiting birthright citizenship and curbing so-called birth tourism. The actions are expected to face immediate legal challenges, with critics arguing they conflict with longstanding interpretations of the 14th Amendment. And Austin PA University professor Darren Michael is suing Tennessee gubernatorial candidate Marsha Blackburn, alleging she pressured the school to fire him over a social media post about gun violence in Charlie Kirk. Blackburn's office called the lawsuit meritless and says her comments were protected by the First Amendment. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Now back to Terry McCready.
Iran issuing a list of demands that must be met before the Strait of Hormuz is reopened.
I want to give them every last chance before decapitation. Very tough to do what we have planned, still planned. We'll see what happens.
Trump just days ago discussing a new round of talks, but now the head of Iran's Supreme National Security Council issued a statement calling for the U.S. to lift its blockade and withdraw the American military from the region. He also demanded the U.S. lift sanctions, pay war reparations, and end attacks on Iranian allies in the region. This comes as the state of negotiations between the U.S. and Iran remains uncertain. Former Vice President Kamala Harris endorsing Democratic Senate candidate Abdul El Sayed in Michigan's upcoming election. El Sayed talking about his decision to run for U.S. Senate.
When the opportunity to run for U.S. Senate came up, I realized that this was a fight not just against Mike Rogers and Donald Trump. It was a fight for the kind of America that can give what I had to all of her children. That is the work in front of us.
El Sayed on NBC's Meet the Press. Harris praising him as a candidate focused on working families and said he is needed to help Democrats win control of the Senate. Meanwhile, New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez agreeing, saying El Sayed's victory is a sign the party is unified.
We have really an ascendance of a young, inspiring, exciting electorate, energizing wave of candidates that I think really inject a new energy to the Democratic Party.
The New York Democrat telling ABC's This Week it's a time of renewal for the party with a shift towards focusing on the working class. Former President Biden's cancer has spread. President's son Hunter Biden giving an update on his father's health. During a wide-ranging interview with the BBC last week, he was emotional discussing his father's health, saying the cancer had metastasized into his bones and further, and added it's very painful and debilitating in many respects. The 83-year-old former president revealing his cancer diagnosis last year, just months after his White House term ended. The Trump administration unveiling plans to overhaul the Head Start early education program for disadvantaged children. The notice of proposed rulemaking from the Department of Health and Human Services says it will restore flexibility to programs to meet local needs, reduce regulatory burden and administrative costs. Head Start began in the 1960s and has received bipartisan congressional support and support from presidential administrations. The free federally funded program provides education for infants through preschoolers and currently serves about 700,000 children nationwide. Black children represent about 28% of total enrollment in National Head Start and early Head Start programs. Stay informed, stay connected, and subscribe. Follow VIN News this hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Terry McCready for the Black Information Network.
Join us on Saturdays through September as the cash keeps stacking to get you loaded at Wind Creek Casino and Hotel. It's your chance to win a share of $200,000. Earn entries now. Drawings start at 7 p.m. every Saturday beginning August 8th, with winners taking home $5,000 to $20,000 each week, plus a guaranteed $30,000 winner each month. Don't miss your chance. Let's get loaded exclusively at Wind Creek. Find your winning moment. Must be 21 years or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
This is Congressman Danny Davis inviting you to our 47th annual Back to School Picnic and Parade Saturday, August 15th at Columbus Park all day.
This is Representative LaShawn K. Ford, and we will have activities for the whole family. School supplies, book bags, and 100 computers will be raffled off. This is LaShawn K. Ford saying join us on Saturday, August 15th, all day at Columbus Park. And remember, Chicago Public Schools start on August 24th. Don't miss the first day of school. I'm LaShawn K. Ford, and I approve this message. Paid for by LaShawn K. Ford for Congress.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, inviting you to join me weekdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on WVON. I am bringing you a national perspective on all the happenings in the Black community and, of course, politics. It's talk radio for us, by us, and this is where America listens.
It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays from 6 to 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Summertime Shy. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th, stop and go traffic. 26 minutes, and please be cautious. There is an accident on the exit ramp, Dan Ryan off ramp to Stevenson Expressway. Eisenhower Wolf to Post Office, stop and go traffic. 37 minutes, I-57, Ryan to I-80, slow go. 20 minutes, Bishop Ford, Ryan to I-80, 94 is at a snail speed. 22 minutes. Eisenhower Wolf to Post Office. Update, stop and go traffic 41 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare is at a snail speed 44 minutes. At Eden's Tracy Cook. Smooth sailing 14 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago. Strong storms possible. I-85 and a low of 69. Tomorrow scattered storms. I-82 and a low of 67. It's currently 86 degrees and cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
From the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on Chicago's Essential Storyteller, 1690 WVON.
Recall a certain magic in your eyes. Stare each time that you appear. So passionate that has been memorized. Each time that you
All right. Welcome back. The afternoon show. That's right. We are still here and kicking it. I had to take a break after that last go round. I needed some water, a walk or something. Got to get my
need to stay
Pilates.
hydrated anyway.
I do need to stay hydrated. I've had plenty of lemonade today. Guys, you're listening to the afternoon show. Let me go ahead and grab a quick phone line because we do have a guest that's coming up. Dr. Glenda's holding for us very patiently. But Graham, I want to get to you real quick. Graham, you're live on the afternoon show.
I certainly appreciate you taking my call. And first off, I support Dr. Willie Wilson. That's the first thing. He's native-born Black American, foundational Black American out of Mississippi. And he has the receipts on what he's done. Now, that said, he came on the radio and said what the primary reason for the lack of support for Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson and the alderman, the city of Chicago said we wanted to end sanctuary cities. We said that. What did they do? They ignored the city of Chicago in their arrogance because they equate the black vote with the Democrats. And I can tell you right now, you guys at WVON has avoided talking about delineation that is sweeping the nation. We are fed up and we are not listening to any of those old Democrats. We're not. And we're not listening to the Republicans. We're listening to what Dr. Claude Anderson told us. Get something for something. Quid pro quo. You want my vote? What's in it for me? And WVON, like all the other old media outfits, will not talk about delineation. So you want to know what's going on? There's a major movement in America right now that you guys are ignoring. And it's not just online. And Brother Ken, I talked to you before about Dr. Pamela Denise Long.
Yes, I had her
Who
on.
talked about, huh?
I had her on thanks to you.
That's right, beloved. I recommend it. And what was she talking about? The exact same thing that the grassroots is talking about. Native-born Black Americans. And we have to get the paperwork right. These immigrants, whoever they are, legal or illegal, they do not benefit Black America. Not in one way. And every time I ask Cleopatra, she won't answer the question. Every time I ask Matt McGill, he won't answer the question. How does that benefit us?
Yeah.
By them coming in, erasing us.
Right.
And then we're cheering for it because the Democrats tell us that that's benefit.
Exactly. So, and Graham, thank you, Graham.
Thank you, Graham.
Yeah, well, let me think. So that's, if you listen to Graham, that's the sentiment throughout Black Chicago and Black America. And by the way, if someone breaks in your country, that does not make you a migrant. It makes you illegal.
This is true.
So we can't gloss all over that. And you can't hide behind your blackness or your whiteness or your brownness on certain issues. And I'm telling you, there is a real tenor in this city, and it is not looking good for this administration.
Right. Well, I tell you what, I know I can't break into anything and get away with it. So let's go ahead and get our next guest up. Guys, you're holding. We see you. Thank you for waiting. We'll get to you. I promise you. Thank you so much for waiting. But up next, we want to definitely bring in our special guest. For decades, historically Black colleges and universities have argued they have been expected to do more with less. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Now, imagine discovering your state admitted it underfunded your university by more than $500 million. And then, according to today's guest, fought harder to avoid paying the debt than correcting it. Our next guest says that isn't just Tennessee's story. She believes it's America's next civil rights battle. Joining us now is Dr. Glenda Glover, former president of Tennessee State University, CPA, attorney, educator, and author of the new book, How Dare You, where she shares her firsthand account of fighting for funding, accountability, and the future of HBCUs. Welcome to the show, Dr. Glenda Glover. Let me bring you on there. There you go.
What a title.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
I want to hear that. How dare you?
Yeah, that's the title for real. That's the title of your book. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. So your book, like Ken said, is called How Dare You. That's a bold title. How exactly did you come up with that title, and what inspired those words?
Well, the title evolved because there were certain things I experienced while talking with the legislators. It was, in fact, how dare you talk to us as if you're on our level? How dare you confront us and tell us we owe you money? But the flip side of that is, how dare you owe us $500 million and not pay us? So the title has two separate meanings.
I like it when they have that double entendre. Many times people think that it's simply a book about Tennessee State University, but there's so much more wrapped into it. You say it's much bigger than that. And just kind of give us, what's the real story here?
Well, this is the story of how the state of Tennessee has spent decades avoiding paying the underfunding that they owe Tennessee State University. They documented by what the state owed us. And they came up with these numbers, not Tennessee State University. The state itself came up with the fact that they owed $544 million to Tennessee State University. But rather than paying the money, they decided to pay the shift narrative as to justify why they are not paying the past and how they were not paying the future. We were excited. We were going to get some funding after all. So what other schools who talked to me and said, well, the model works in Tennessee, let's spread it to the other land grant universities. But it didn't work like that.
I can appreciate that. Well, I'm gonna ask you if you have a phone. I'm gonna switch you to the phone line, and I'm gonna send it to your handler because you're going in and out. You can stay on video, but I'm gonna try and get you a phone line so that we can hear what you're saying very clearly. Because I've got some more questions, and I know Ken does too. Definitely. But we're gonna go to break real quick. And we're gonna get you straight. Okay, guys, you're listening to the afternoon show and you're listening to our listeners because they are part of the afternoon show, like Pianki, Angel, Miss Lee, and Brother Hall. I see you waiting, and definitely we're going to come back to you guys, but we got to get Dr. Glenda straight so that we can hear all what she has to say. We're going to go to traffic and weather, and we'll be right back.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Girl, where have you been? My laundry got backed up. I had so much laundry I felt like the help, but I found the truth. You became a Jehovah's Witness? I found Clean Break. For less than the price of a good meal, Clean Break washed and folded my clothes and had them smelling fresh the way I like. It's gotta be inexpensive. You know all the hookups. Darn Skippy. I wasn't about to pay no $100 for 2 bags of clothes. And I caught the WVON discount. Girl, sign me up. I'm sold.
Try Clean Break today for just $25 per bag, including pickup and delivery. Call 708-980-7886 or visit cleanbreak.com. That's KLEANBREAK.com. Clean Break. Fresh clothes, more free time. Get your weekends back.
So fresh and so clean, Break.
Chicago officially has the worst traffic in the country. Get out of gridlock with Metro.
What do you want me to
With
do?
our 95% on-time rate, we eliminate the stress of driving and get you where you're going quickly, comfortably, and safely. Metro.
Is this any better?
Less, do more.
See something? Say something. Don't scroll. Call 911. Big crowds, amazing sights. OEMC's got your back. Help keep Chicago safe during the Air and Water Show.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
With Civic Tax Relief, they were able to save me upwards of $80,000 that I would have had to pay had I not reached out to them.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies.
I owe the IRS $37,000.
They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS. By the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-285-3500, 800-285-3500. Don't wait, call now, 800-285-3500, 800-285-3500.
Joe's Landscaping. This is Joe.
I'd like an estimate to install a sprinkler system in the forest.
Okay, your property's on forest land?
Oh, no. It is the forest.
I don't follow.
Well, I'm calling around for estimates to install sprinklers throughout our forests.
What?
Let me explain. We're a grassroots group looking for funding to combat people's recklessness with fire in the forest. We can't get funding if we don't have an estimate, so,
Are you serious?
Yeah. We're calling it the National Sprinkler System. Isn't that great?
You want to know how much a sprinkler system would cost in the forest? That doesn't even make sense, sir.
Oh, no. Oh, you know what? You're right. Maybe we should just map out Olympic National Forest first.
Is this a joke?
No, imagine being able to flip a switch and put a fire out.
Flip a switch. You know how much land you're talking about?
I know it seems big, Joe.
Seems big.
Well, they built that pipeline thing. That's pretty big.
No. I'm sorry, I can't help.
Wait, Joe.
Only you can prevent wildfires. Brought to you by Smokey Bear, the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, the Ad Council, and this station.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. The accident has cleared off the exit ramp in Ryan off ramp to Stevenson Expressway, 28 minutes. I-57, Ryan I-80, 2-minute delay, 17 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan I-80, 94, stopping. Traffic, 24 minutes. Stevenson to Sable, Lakeshore Drive, to the Tri-State, slow go, 33 minutes. Eisenhower to Post Stop is 23 minutes of stop and go traffic. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic 44 minutes in Edens, Manchester Cook, smooth sailing 14 minutes. Weather for 2 days, Chicago, strong storms possible, high of 85 and a low of 69. Tomorrow, scattered storms, high of 82 and a low of 67. It's currently 86 degrees and cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Heard he sang a good song. I heard he had style.
All right. Welcome to the afternoon show. Dr. LaDonna Raeh, State Rep,
Dunkin?
Ken Dunkin.
Yeah, totally here.
We're not going to do
I'm
the voices.
dialed in,
Are we
baby.
doing the
Yeah,
voices?
yeah, like,
We're talking
I'm
about HBCUs.
Yeah.
So now you really want to have your voice. Okay. I tell you what. So Ken.
Yeah.
Ken, so,
Like my boyfriend went to like an HBCU.
Oh, really? So you have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
Ken, I didn't know you were like
Yeah.
that. All right.
Yeah. And he told me, like, I mean, they do all this black stuff.
Yeah.
And,
What's black stuff?
well,
Is it like a black education?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So they really can't, they don't qualify. They don't know how to do anything.
Well, I'm not sure if they're like really good readers or
Right.
like, all the stereotype that they say.
So CPS students that can't read go
Yeah.
to HBCUs?
I believe so.
That's really
but
sad.
there are a lot of blacks.
Makes a lot of sense.
A lot of
Okay.
blacks that are there.
All right. Well, we're talking to, let's see, Dr. Glenda Glover. We're going to ask her to
Dr.
mute
Glover will
her.
kill us.
Yeah, she muted her video, which is great. And we're going to get black again. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we're talking to Dr. Glenda Glover, who has a book called How Dare You? And in having a book called How Dare You, I have a question, because in your book you talk about, and let's not forget that you are a former director. Let me make sure I got this right. Former president of Tennessee State University, CPA, attorney, educator, and author of that book that I mentioned, How
Yes.
Dare You.
I've been president for over 10 years.
Absolutely. And in this book, you reference, because these are staggering numbers, you reference $544 million, while a federal review identified a $2.1 billion funding gap. Help us understand the difference between those two figures.
Sure. The federal government did a review of the land grant colleges and universities and determined that on a per student basis, there was $13 billion owed to HBCUs and underfunding. Of that, $2 billion was owed to TSU, another $2 billion to A&T, another $2 billion to FAMU, and it just went down from there. It was an unbelievable, staggering number. Just before that, the Tennessee General Assembly had performed a study.
I think so too.
And it was
Dr. Glenda, mute your laptop. Yeah, mute not your phone, your laptop. so you can't hear out of the
It's muted.
your laptop. I'm talking about the speaker on your laptop.
The speaker, it's muted. I can take it off mute.
See, there's a difference. It's off mute now.
Okay,
But
take
I
it.
can hear
Net
that
background
too.
echo.
I'm just gonna remove you from the video, and we'll talk on the phone. Okay.
Right.
All right. Here we go. All right. Close your laptop and continue. There we go.
Is it better?
Yeah, you closed the laptop. Okay, go ahead. Well, I still
What I
hear
was
echo.
saying was, you just walk away.
Yeah, walk around, talk to us. Have that nervous walk. That's what I tell my son.
There's no nervousness.
I know that's right.
But what I was saying was, Tennessee did a study that was the committee was chaired by State Representative Harold Love Jr. And that committee determined that TSU was owed $544 million when compared to the other land grant HBCUs. They looked at how TSU was funded, how the University of Tennessee was funded. The same formula, the same expectations. However, there was a difference of $544 million over the number of years that the study was performed. And that was staggering to determine that TSU had been that underfunded. And so we set out to ask them to give a payment plan to ensure that TSU was brought up. We were all excited. I mean, literally jumping for joy. We're going to get some funding now. And little we know that the next move would be made, and that would be to do everything possible to not pay the money, to come up with a way to say TSU doesn't do this, they don't do that. Here's why we didn't pay in the past. Here's why we can't pay in the future. They didn't use those words, but those implications. And that is what happened. They came up with all the weaponizing the audit process, doing a forensic audit, doing everything possible to keep from paying the money, saying TSU didn't reconcile bank statements, which was true. There were some bank statements that get reconciled, but there's no reason to owe $544 million for that.
Right.
Absolutely.
It was unbelievable.
So, Dr. Glover,
yes.
How does your book move the needle with this information? And who are the key stakeholders or advocates at the legislative level? Is there going to be a lawsuit? Who's really championing this publicly and loudly in Tennessee?
Well, the students had pulled together a team of student leaders, and they came to me to see if they could get Attorney Ben Crump to meet with them to explain their rights and determine if they should file a lawsuit. And Ben Crump came to campus. I think that was the beginning of that made things get worse. So Ben Crump came to campus and explained to them, you need to file a lawsuit because you owe $500 million by your state's own admission. If that's the case, we want to make sure that you get what you deserve. So the students were all excited. They started all kinds of protests. They started going down to the Capitol, doing things. Oh, shucks.
Great.
They started going to the Capitol, doing things. Everything was happening. So that's what happened.
Okay. And so
that's where it left off?
So that's the latest?
That's what the students did.
Okay.
The faculty and staff were supportive, but they were not the demonstrators. But people have to eat. Those are their jobs at stake because I think they perceive that the new presidents and leadership had been given the charge to just do what you need to do to get the cost down. If that means get rid of people, do that. Just do what you have to do. And so people didn't publicly display the reaction that they could have displayed, but they were still support in the background.
Always support in the background. We need to come to the foreground because all I'm thinking about is how we have protested heavily for a lot of different causes. And in this situation, this is something that we were unaware of. having that kind of money
Yeah,
owed to different
that's
universities
substantial.
that look like
That's
us,
mind
that's a
blowing.
lot. That's
Absolutely.
game changing because a lot of all you hear is how outdated everything is on the campus and how the essential education is not upgraded. And this is why, because the funding is not there, but it's old.
Right. And see, I know we have to take a break. This is what I tell to white America. Having an uneducated black population is a national security risk because we're the treasure of this country. If you look at the economic foundation, if you look at the quality of life, the culture, the rhythm, the investment that black people have had and still do in this country, it's substantial. Foundational black Americans are nothing to take for granted. And so invest.
Yeah, but when you have big fish syndrome, you won't even see it that way.
Character syndrome.
That's right. Main character, big fish. Call it what you want.
It's foolish
Not only that,
to
we have
neglect
the
our
fearful
citizens.
syndrome. We have a fearful syndrome. And I was president for 11 and a half years, almost 12 years. And so you cannot have this, you can't lead from a position of fear, from a position of behind.
That's right.
You have to come out front and challenge the legislature. I knew I would eventually become a casualty, but I grew up in a civil rights home, and my dad would leave heaven
Oh,
and
wow.
come here for a moment.
Well, let
If
me slide in just a second. We got to go to break. And when we come back, we're going to grab these callers. More from Dr. Glenda Glover. I'm excited to talk to you about this.
Author of
How dare you? How dare you, Ken?
How dare you?
I feel like I'm clutching my pearls when I say that. Guys, we'll be right back.
And she has no pearls.
Hope your day is full of laughter and love, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here's happening in your local and national news. Willie Wilson joins WVON's Matt McGill to discuss his campaign for the upcoming Chicago mayoral election. Wilson says he has worked hard to build a success and believes in giving back to the community. He pushed back on criticism from Mayor Brandon Johnson that he lacks political experience.
And then I'm the person that's sharing with the community, try to help them get that too. So I mean, to me, I don't listen to them. I think that you look at a case of mentally ill people, this is what I look at it that way, because, I mean, how can you argue with success and with giving things to help other people that can't make? I don't take my success and use it and put it just in my pocket. I give away 100% of every penny I make to help people from the heart. And I would do the same thing as Mayor of Chicago. And then look, if I took the salary of what the Mayor of Chicago took, I would lose money with the dollars I make. I would take that salary and give it to the community, And then this is what I'm all about. I would never be for self. I don't see nobody going out here giving away money to people with gas, homeless people, food, hospitals, all these. I don't see a lot doing it, but they can complain.
Dr. Wilson said he knows how to get things done and can surround himself with capable people. He highlighted his experience successfully running a $90 million business and some commitment to supporting the community. Wilson also discussed his ongoing efforts to give back to Chicago residents, including his gas giveaway. In other news, Chicago area residents are being asked to use less water as storms are set to move into the area. According to the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, an overflow action day has been declared for Monday to call attention to the need for water to be kept out of sewer systems. Residents are urged to delay showers and baths, flush less frequently, and wait to run a dishwasher or washing machine. In other news, Mayor Brandon Johnson is widely expected to run for re-elections, though the timing of his formal announcement remains unclear. WVON's intern Caleb Patton has more.
Months left until voters decide on the mayor's race. Mayor Johnson has yet to announce whether he's seeking a second term. Live Monday morning on the Midday Show with WVON's Cleopatra Draper, the mayor seemed to deflect several of her attempts to get an answer.
That's clear, right? I mean, the city of Chicago is safer. The city of Chicago is becoming more affordable. Listen, it doesn't mean that we don't have our challenges.
Then when asked a second time, he said, there's more to be done.
I wish more Chicagoans could see the entire city of Chicago the way I've experienced.
And finally, when asked, he simply said that being mayor is one of the joys of his life.
What do you want from us? What do you want from Black Chicago?
Anthony, line one.
There it is.
To make it on the 2027 ballot, filing petitions must be in by October 26th. Currently, there are nearly a dozen declared candidates vying for Mayor Johnson's job. Kayla Patton, Our News Now, 1690 WVON.
In other news, the Trump administration is extending a waiver to the century-old Jones Act in an effort to keep fuel costs down. The 90-day extension allows certain foreign flag ships to transport fuel and other commodities between U.S. ports. The move comes as energy prices remain elevated due to the war in Iran and disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz. The Defense Department will determine whether compliant American ships are available before foreign vessels can be used. And the NCAA and FBI are teaming up to stop a rash of crimes against student athletes. They announced a partnership today to educate athletes about keeping their private images safe online and avoid becoming victims of sexploitation. The feds say strong social media presences and name, image, likeness money are making student athletes targets of bad actors who steal the images and then demand money to keep them from going public. I'm Logan Page, and that's what's happening in your news now on WVON 1690 AM.
When it comes to celebrating our Chicagoland communities, Wintrust is here for it. We're proud to support small businesses in our own backyards, like Anderson's Bookshops, with locations at 123 West Jefferson Avenue in Naperville and 5112 Main Street in Downers Grove. La Fruteria Incorporated, imported foods from Africa and the Caribbean, located at 8909 South Commercial Avenue in Chicago. Kitchen and Bath Authority, exquisite collections of bathroom accessories and more at 611 West Roosevelt Road in Wheaton.
What's up? Play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
This just in, the South Shore Summerfest did it again. Catch the sultry sounds of Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter John B. as he plays all your favorite hits. From They Don't Know to Waiting on You, and shop with your favorite local businesses at Chicago's hottest lakefront Summerfest. Sunday, August 16th at the South Shore Cultural Center from 12 p.m. until 8 p.m. Free registration is available online at SouthShoreSummerFestival.com. Sponsored by Special Services Area Number 42, the South Shore Chamber of Commerce, Chase Bank, Way Dispensary, and Bally's Casino.
Protect your money and build your wealth. Sundays at 3 p.m., host and owners of Top and Top Insurance Agency, Clydell and Betty Top, teach you about protecting your assets, 401ks, annuities, life after retirement, the differences and benefits of life insurance. And they take questions. Their advice can enhance your financial future and your legacy. Call for a free WVON financial consultation, 773-881-8110. Tune in Sundays at 3 p.m. to protect your money and build your wealth. Powered by Top and Top Insurance Agency.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. Hope you're staying dry. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th, slow go 24 minutes. I-57, Ryan Tayeti, slow moving traffic 21 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan Tayeti, 94, stop and go traffic 23 minutes. Stevenson, Ensemble, Lakeshore Drive, to the Tri-State, slow go 37 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolfto Post Office, 21-minute delay, 36 minutes. Kennedy, downtown to O'Hare, bumper to bumper traffic, 44 minutes in Eden to Montrose Lake Cook. Smooth sailing, 15 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago. Strong storms possible, high of 85 and a low of 65. Tomorrow, scattered storms, high of 82 and a low of 67. In our city, it's currently 84 degrees and cloudy. Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, let's go straight to the phone lines. We've got Dr. Glenda Glover, author of
How Dare You?
I like how you say that. It's perfect. It's perfect. All right, let's go straight to these phone lines. Pianki, thank you so much for waiting. You've been on the whole show, actually. You're live on WVON.
Well, I just want to say this real quick. Brandon Johnson is not a Harold Washington by no figment of imagination. Is not. Now, another thing, with Glenda with the historical black colleges and universities, their problems start way before those children hit the doors of those historical black colleges. And until you address that, you're going to continue to have those problems. Where are the endowments that your former students should be able to give back and make way for upcoming students that's coming through the historical black colleges? I think you have about 3 that have a graduation rate in 6 years that's above 50%. And another point I wanted to make, too, you're talking about twerking. You know, January 6th was not an insurrection. FBI and the State Department never declared an insurrection. But nor they didn't declare in 1954 when the Puerto Ricans took over the visitor gallery in the national capital and fired bullets down, hitting Congress people, nor when about 3 dozen Black Panthers invaded the Sacramento
legislature,
California Assembly, and chased those people out. So let things get a little bit too far, Ken. And one thing real quick, Kamala Harris lied. The SAVE Act has nothing to do with state, local, and municipal elections. It's there to make sure that voters who are voting a federal ballot are U.S. citizens. And she lied trying to make it apply to everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bianchi.
I think Frank can make some good points.
Absolutely. Dr. Glenda, did you want to respond, or do you want us to grab the next caller? That was a lot.
You know what? I would say, I know we have other callers. The reality is, he asked a question regarding, or he made a statement regarding the kids being prepared before they get to places like a TSU.
No, he didn't. He said
said
it started long before that. He said it started in the endowment. Yeah.
It was endowments,
Okay.
and he's right that the endowment should be higher, because not only should students give back, alums should give, others should give. There should be a more concerted efforts to increase endowment. I know when I was president, I inherited endowment in the 42 to 44 million. When I left, it was 110 million.
There you
because
go.
we made efforts to be sure we could increase the endowment. We know endowments represent sustainability. And so there are only a handful of HBCUs that have over 100 million in endowment. And that's really pitiful when you think about it.
It's impressive,
But
under
yeah,
your tenure.
and it can be, but at the same time, are we hoping for endowments, or do we have a strong investment campaign? Because that helps too.
You're right. You have to have a strong investment campaign. When I was international president of Alpha Kappa Alpha, we made sure that every HBCU had a $100,000 endowment, a $100,000 check from Alpha Kappa Alpha, so that they could have at least that much in their endowment, the contribution.
Yeah.
Every single
Very
4-year student, some 2-year community colleges, we did it for them too. Some got a little bit more than that. For example, Benedict, when they were having some challenges, and Morris Brown, we had to make a third effort to really help them a little bit more with time, and as they say, time, talent, treasure. We did also just to make sure we could keep them afloat, because we were convinced that no other HBCU is going to close under my watch. So we worked hard in that regard. But there has to be a concerted campaign to increase the endowments, because that's our hope for the scholarships of the future.
Absolutely.
So you're right. He's right about that.
All right, for sure. All right, let's go ahead and grab Miss Lee. Miss Lee, thank you so much for waiting. Miss Lee, you're live on WVON.
Okay, I'm saying I'm praying for Ativia, and I'm saying hello to everybody that's on the program.
Thank you.
Hello.
Okay, what I wanted to say is, okay, I was listening to Jeopardy just a little while ago, and they were saying that the white people is talking about the illegals, but then they made a statement about, they say, well, what are you all? If you don't think that you are immigrant, you're an immigrant just as well as the ones that they're trying to throw out of the country. But that's what they said about the white people. So on Jeopardy. So if you want to hear it again, it comes on at night.
Okay, wow.
I gotta listen to that.
Jeopardy, right? Okay.
Yeah, it come on again at nighttime. Jeopardy. Make sure that you listen to it.
Okay. Well, thank you, Miss Lee.
Miss Lee.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Miss Lee didn't tell us if she got any questions, right?
Well, right. There you have it. Angel, real quick, what you got for us? You're live on WVON.
Oh, I just wanted to talk politics real quick. To
What's
the
up,
gentleman
Angel?
who called, to the gentleman, how you doing? To the gentleman who called 4 callers ago complaining about Willie Wilson criticized Mayor Johnson, that's politics. This is Chicago. They criticize everybody in this city.
Right.
When I got appointed deputy commissioner of a department, the Spanish communities, they attacked me. So that's politics. When I helped Kim Fox the first time, I got criticized. When I helped Dorothy Brown, I got criticized. When I helped Lori Lightfoot, I got criticized. You know what I'm trying to tell you. And my friends that are working for Susan Mendoza, they're criticized. They're talking about me, not bad, politics, because I don't want to help Susan Mendoza.
All right.
Because they tell me she's Hispanic. I don't care who you are. I support the person that I want to support. Thank you so much.
I know that's
right.
Oh my
I'm gonna
goodness!
pinch you. I
You
swear
know
I
what?
will.
Stop trying to rub off on me.
I'm not rubbing off on you. I got that from my
a
dad.
president
Yes, we do. Dr. Glenda Glover.
on the phone.
I tell you what, Dr. Glenda Glover, before we go to this break, I want to definitely break into, what happens next. Because now that, money is owed, campaigns have been or should I say, people have protested, talked to Ben Crump. It sounds very promising, but it sounds like the same ending that we get, and that's a nothing burger. So what is the next step? Especially with having your book out there. What is the next step?
It's not a nothing burger. It really isn't, because we got to put together the masses, pull together the alumni. It's difficult for sitting presidents. It's different for sitting faculty, because the challenge is so great that there's an opportunity for the president and leadership and others to get rid of them. So it's easier if you're an alum. So we're calling the National Alumni Associations together to have them. We're addressing the Black Caucus this year, too. We're calling them together to ask them to help with this problem. Underfunding is a major issue. Underfunding HBCUs, give that money as the next civil rights battle. That's the education and civil rights movement. Because if education doesn't become a civil rights issue, then there is no issue. Because this is the underfunding of land grant. It's not just a Tennessee problem. It demands national attention. It's not going to be resolved through state legislatures alone. It's going to have to be through
the federal government.
In the federal legislation. Kamala Harris was prepared to address this. She got elected. There had been conversation about how it was going to be addressed. There's lots of money coming into the states from the federal government. And if they don't match the funding for HBCUs, there has to be some penalties, some teeth into that law to make the states address that. You can't have a law in the book and the books, and then you ignore that. You can't. It's morally wrong. It's legally reprehensible to have something on the books and it's ignored, and then nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens because of it ignores that. That's where we are with this. This is on the books.
Thank you, Dr. Glenda. I'm gonna put you on just a hold real quick. We're gonna take one more break, and when we come back, I want to talk about this book, what critics are saying about your book. And Kay, Ron, we see you holding, but we gotta take this quick break. Traffic and weather, and we'll be back.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This is Kamini Khan, certified financial planner professional. For the past year, I've been on a mission to change lives and build wealth in our community. Together, we're changing the paradigm. This year, I'm back with a new series, Wealth Strategies, Money Talk. Join me every Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. on the Rufus Williams Show as we have thoughtful discussions around building wealth in our community. We'll discuss topics like investing, saving, tax strategies, retirement, and all things money. Yes, that's Tuesday at 8:30 a.m., so set those alarms. Also, be sure to check out the podcast at WVONwealthshow.com.
Comini Khan is a certified financial planner professional with Optimal Planning Partners in alliance with Equitable Advisors LLC member SIPC in Oak Brook, Illinois. For more information, please call 630-575-5046.
After graduating TTI, I got my CNA license, and an organization called Skills of Chicago helped me get into Northwestern medicine.
Northwestern Medicine has created a pipeline to medical education and jobs in healthcare for our neighboring communities. It's no wonder we're the third largest private employer in Illinois.
It's a place where it's like a flower. I can just see myself grow.
Because we treat our community the same way we treat our patients. Better.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, VON TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. VON TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chi-Town. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th. Stop and go traffic 24 minutes. I-57, Ryan's I-80, 5-minute delay. 20 minutes of slow-moving traffic. Bishop Ward, Ryan's I-80, 94, stop and go traffic 23 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State. Stop and go traffic 39 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolfton Post Office is at a snail speed 43 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare is moving slow 40 minutes, and Eden's Montrose Lake Cook smooth sailing 15 minutes. Your weather for today: Chicago, strong storms possible. I-85 and a low of 69. Tomorrow, scattered storms. I-82 and a low of 67. It's currently 84 degrees and cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, welcome back. You're listening to the afternoon show. You're watching the afternoon show. You're sharing the afternoon show. You're commenting the afternoon show, and you're loving the afternoon show. That's right. Dr. LaDonna Raeh and State Rep Ken Dunkin in the building.
Yes.
And on the live line, we have Dr. Glenda Glover, who is an author, former president of Tennessee.
Fundraiser.
Yeah, fundraiser. Look, here's the thing.
Activist.
Yeah, all of those things. And a CPA, don't forget about that, and attorney. But just so you know, you're gonna have critics. We try to put something out great. You're gonna have critics, and some critics, Dr. Glenda, have suggested your book is about settling scores after leaving the presidency. What do you say to people who view it that way?
Well, there was no scores to settle. I was president for almost 12 years. And I made my way at TSU. But the truth is, the state came up with the money that was owed to us, not Tennessee State. And the state own committee said, okay, we owe you an underfunding is amount of $544 million, not TSU. And so those deliberate efforts to avoid paying TSU the debt owed. And so why now? Why am I doing it now? Because I want to ensure that the truth is part of the public record, because truth has no expiration date. I could be there, so I could not be there. Right. It doesn't expire. The truth doesn't expire. And future generation needs to understand what has happened and why, and that it cannot be swept under the rug this time. And so the consequences that led to underfunding are not in the past. That's what's going on right now. So there is no score to settle. There is no, it's just laying out the facts. That's all I'm doing now.
Yeah, sticking to the facts. You know, I want to bring Chicago into this. I know this is Tennessee, but do you think Black communities have become too comfortable celebrating HBCUs without demanding the same level of, let's say, funding, accountability, or that predominantly white institutions receive?
Well, we don't voice this opinion as loudly as we could. What we do is settle for the crumbs that are given to HBCUs. I didn't say a whole lot as president because, again, presidents are easy to become casualties. I managed to do it for almost 12 years and stay on that slippery slope, but get my point across. There are ways to get your point across without being with a dagger in your back. And I did it because I am an attorney, I am a CPA, I know the numbers, I know the law. And so I know how far we can go and things you can say because there's truth is always a defense. To any words that are said about you or to you, truth is always a defense. So I think people don't really understand what's going on in the HBCU world. They don't understand how University of Tennessee can be funded 4 and 5 and 6 times as much as TSU, and nothing's being said about it. Nothing's being done about it. It's in your face come discrimination. So you have to fight against that. I mean, anybody who sees that and says, oh, well, that's okay, there's something wrong there. We have to fight. We never got anywhere in this country without fighting for what was right, without taking a stand and fighting. You can't do it by being complacent.
That's right.
Because to be silent is to be complicit. To be silent is to betray the legacy of every HBCU in this country who spent years educating generations of students who have been told you cannot be all that you can be. So you have to take a stand and fight for what is right and what's just for HBCU students.
I know that's right.
Teach.
Earl, do you have a question for Dr. Glenda Glover?
I do. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
So I guess my question is, where are the Black legislators in Tennessee? And if what you're saying, I'm not doubting what you're saying, but if what you're saying is true, why aren't they speaking out against this?
Thanks, Earl.
They are.
For Tennessee State.
Thanks, Earl.
They are, but they're so drowned out because of the makeup of the legislature. Those who speak up can be heard, but they get no media press. They have their own podcast. They say a lot about it. Antonio Parkinson out of Memphis talks about it all the time on his podcast. However, you have so many in the other party who go out of their way to drown their voices out.
Yeah. You know, what people really take for granted is places like Illinois, New York, California are strong Democrat. Those are Democrat strongholds. But Democrats are in the minority of minorities in Tennessee. And when I was a part of the state legislature, we'd have the National Conference of State Legislators.
Yeah.
And we would things were hunky-dory for us because we were all Dems in the state of Illinois. But there are a lot of states, such as Tennessee, are suffering because they don't even have a voice. Georgia, Alabama, and this is a perfect example because I wouldn't have allowed that to happen. And I want to say members in the Illinois General Assembly would not have had allowed this.
Well, you all have a strong voice. I've noticed what goes on in Illinois. In fact, one of my friends came to me complaining a couple of years ago about something that was going on. I just said, listen, you get no sympathy from me. Be thankful you're in a blue state. You could be in a blue state like me when you have to fight tooth and nail, and still it gets worse. You know, it's like when the Israelites complained, they said instead of giving them the straw, to go and gather everything up that was given to them and still have the same productivity.
Right.
So when you start complaining, they make things much worse. So you got to be ready for the fight. You can put on the whole armor so you can be ready for the fight.
That's it.
Well, where can we get your book? Because it sounds like something that we need to have in our arsenal, not just sitting on the shelf, but we need to read it.
It's at Amazon. It's Google Glenda Glover book. How dare you? And it's there. It's on Amazon. That's the easiest place to get it.
I love that.
And I thank you so much for allowing me to talk on this, and I really, really appreciate it.
That was enlightening.
It was. It definitely was.
Very informative.
It's almost one of those things that tug at your heart too.
Right. And here's the thing. So there's a presidential election that's coming up. This needs to be put in front of Democrats and Republicans.
What do you plan on doing about it?
Resolve this.
That's right.
That's it.
That's it.
Mhm,
They
mhm.
talking about they got the cookie cutter platforms out there.
Yes.
But add this to your platform because it's
This
more
has to-
specific.
This has to be a black demand,
Yeah.
not an ask.
Yeah.
And so that's why. And so people at the grassroots level, they're not a part of this elite Democrat, the elite Republican. They're like, yo,
Right.
solve this.
Yeah. I'll tell you what.
You're right. It's part of the ground game we have to put forward. It's truly a ground issue, an in-your-face issue.
That's right. Well, you know what? We're going to get you back on here and give us some updates.
Yes, I would love
to.
that. That'd be
Well,
great.
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Glenda Glover.
Yes, yes.
All right. She
How
has left
dare
the
you.
building. How dare you, Ken?
Get her book.
That's right. How
Right now.
dare you get her book? I'm going to get it. I tell you that. I love reading. All right, guys, we're going to go to news, traffic, and weather with the lovely Logan Page. She was on the float with Farley.
Jackmaster Funk.
That's right. She was on the float with Farley at the Bud Billigan Parade. So I can't wait to hear her voice.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Thank you, LaDonna, Raeh, and Ken. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. Johnson expected to seek re-election. Renovated Inglewood properties welcome homeowners. Report says burden to miss entire preseason. And 7.4 earthquake strikes Columbia. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
President Trump has signed new executive orders aimed at limiting birthright citizenship and curbing so-called birth tourism. The actions are expected to face immediate legal challenges, with critics arguing they conflict with longstanding interpretations of the 14th Amendment. And Austin PA University professor Darren Michael is suing Tennessee gubernatorial candidate Marsha Blackburn, alleging she pressured the school to fire him over a social media post about gun violence in Charlie Kirk. Blackburn's office called the lawsuit meritless and says her comments were protected by the First Amendment. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Now back to Terry McCready.
Iran issuing a list of demands that must be met before the Strait of Hormuz is reopened.
I want to give them every last chance before decapitation. Very tough to do what we have planned, still planned. We'll see what happens.
Trump just days ago discussing a new round of talks, but now the head of Iran's Supreme National Security Council issued a statement calling for the U.S. to lift its blockade and withdraw the American military from the region. He also demanded the U.S. lift sanctions, pay war reparations, and end attacks on Iranian allies in the region. This comes as the state of negotiations between the U.S. and Iran remains uncertain. Former Vice President Kamala Harris endorsing Democratic Senate candidate Abdul El Sayed in Michigan's upcoming election. El Sayed talking about his decision to run for U.S. Senate.
When the opportunity to run for U.S. Senate came up, I realized that this was a fight not just against Mike Rogers and Donald Trump. It was a fight for the kind of America that can give what I had to all of her children. That is the work in front of us.
El Sayed on NBC's Meet the Press. Harris praising him as a candidate focused on working families and said he is needed to help Democrats win control of the Senate. Meanwhile, New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez agreeing, saying El Sayed's victory is a sign the party is unifying.
We have really an ascendance of a young, inspiring, exciting electorate, energizing wave of candidates that I think really inject a new energy to the Democratic Party.
The New York Democrat telling ABC's This Week it's a time of renewal for the party with a shift towards focusing on the working class. Former President Biden's cancer has spread. President's son Hunter Biden giving an update on his father's health. During a wide-ranging interview with the BBC last week, he was emotional discussing his father's health, saying the cancer had metastasized into his bones and further, and added it's very painful and debilitating in many respects. The 83-year-old former president revealing his cancer diagnosis last year, just months after his White House term ended. The Trump administration unveiling plans to overhaul the Head Start early education program for disadvantaged children. The notice of proposed rulemaking from the Department of Health and Human Services says it will restore flexibility to programs to meet local needs, reduce regulatory burden and administrative costs. Head Start began in the 1960s and has received bipartisan congressional support and support from presidential administrations. The free federally funded program provides education for infants through preschoolers and currently serves about 700,000 children nationwide. Black children represent about 28% of total enrollment in National Head Start and Early Head Start programs. Stay informed, stay connected, and subscribe. Follow VIN News this hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Terry McCready for the Black Information Network.
Chicago, get ready for a night of pure magic. On Saturday, August 29th, the Destiny's Child Iconic Reimagined Tribute lights up the historic Congress Theater. One unforgettable night celebrating the songs that defined a generation. Imagine Survivor, Say My Name, Independent Woman, Reimagined. A 5-piece string ensemble delivers a stunning symphonic interpretation of the hits and love songs you know by heart, blending contemporary sounds with the group's signature harmonies and those empowering lyrics that still move us today. And guiding you through it all, narrator Matthew Knowles, the management powerhouse who built Destiny's Child from Houston Dream to global phenomenon. Want the ultimate experience? Upgrade to VIP for premium seating and an exclusive meet and greet. But hurry, VIP packages are limited. From the moment the doors open, you'll feel it. It isn't just a concert, it's a celebration. The Destiny's Child Iconic Reimagined Tribute, August 29th, Congress Theater. Tickets at destinyschild.com. Get yours before they're gone.
When it comes to celebrating our Chicagoland communities, Wintrust is here for it. We're proud to support small businesses in our own backyards, like Lori Bryden Living, a custom shopping experience at 4452 South Cottage Grove Avenue in Chicago. Central Sonar, accessible mental health and healing services at 2645 West 51st Street in Chicago. Princeton Technical Services, building and maintaining modern infrastructure at 940 West Adams Street, Suite 305 in Chicago.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
With Civic Tax Relief, they were able to save me upwards of $80,000 that I would have had to pay had I not reached out to them.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies.
I owe the IRS $37,000.
They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS. By the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-285-3500, 800-285-3500. Don't wait, call now, 800-285-3500, 800-285-3500.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. Hope you're staying dry. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. And please be cautious, it's a little slippery. Dan Ryan, downtown the 95th, stopping. Go traffic 22 minutes. I-57, right I-80, 3-minute delay, 17 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan I-80, 94, stopping. Go traffic 26 minutes. Stevenson, Due Sample, Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, stopping. Go traffic 31 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolftown Post Office. There is some slow-moving traffic, 30 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic 49 minutes. And Eden's Manchester Lake Cook, smooth sailing 15 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago, strong storms possible. I-85 and a low of 69. Tomorrow, scattered storms. I-82 and a low of 67. It's currently 84 degrees and cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690.
From the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on Chicago's Essential Storyteller, 1690 WVON.
Guess you wonder where I've been. Search to find love within.
I came back to let you know, guys.
Thing for you.
Yeah.
I can't let go.
So watch this. The ringmaster at the Bud Billigan parade was none other
The who?
than the ringmaster.
Yes.
Was none. Am I saying that right? Was she the ringmaster?
No.
She led the parade.
She was the
What master?
Grand Marshal.
Grand Marshal. Thank you. Oh, the
Help
circus.
us, Lord.
No. This is what. So without rubbing our noses in it, we can correct each other. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah.
So let me
And she was
rub
looking
your
good, too, by
nose
the
in
way.
it, not the other way around. But yeah, she was the. What did you say? The Grand Marshal.
Yes.
There we go. She was the Grand Marshal, Lisa Raeh McCoy, and she's Chicago's very own.
She is.
And by the way, she also is part of Samantha Chapman's Mama, I Made It, her brand new episode, which you can hear her story from Chicago to Hollywood. And it's a very good story because growing up, I remember, first of all, we have a mutual friend that passed away, Lisa
Okay.
Raeh McCoy and myself. Her name was Sharon. And just watching her grow through so many things.
She has.
She absolutely has. She had a jean line at one point. I mean, this is
Yeah.
just awesome. So
And she keeps herself together.
she does. And her story is actually on VON TV with Samantha Chapman. She's going to sit down with her, or she has sat down
I
with her.
can't wait to see that.
And the journey
on VON TV.
Yeah, the journey behind her success. You can actually watch it on VON TV, which is available on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, the WVON app, or at VON.TV. You know what else is going on with us here?
What?
Are you gonna go to North Carolina? What is it? South Carolina, or what?
with
You
Rufus?
going? Yeah.
Can you imagine Rufus and I hanging out for 4 days?
You know, Rufus is an interesting person, and I mean that so lovingly.
Let's talk about Charleston, South Carolina.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Remember, I said, what would it be like in a car ride
I know. I remember that.
to Charleston, South Carolina, with him and I
From Chicago.
From Chicago.
That's a long ride.
That is, I think, a long ride from here to Great America would be. And I know would be long with Rufus.
Ouch.
However, what you get on the other side is what matters, because this August, well, it's not August, it's in October, actually. Yeah. October 8th through the 12th. You're going to join, if you join Rufus Williams Travel Club. Now, they're in partnership with the Advantage International. And what they're saying is Charleston is not going to be just another trip. You'll have a cultural experience. So we're taking you, we meaning WVON, is going on the road. And from the roots of, I heard Gullah repeat.
Gullah Geechee.
It was pronounced a different way. So just so you guys know, I know somebody's going, oh my gosh, he can never say this word. But I've heard it in 3 different ways. So all 3 hit my brain.
What are you trying to find out?
Gullah Geechee rather. So I've
Geechee
heard
is
Gula, I've heard Gullah.
The Gullah people.
I hear you.
Speaking the Geechee linguistic.
Right, but I've heard it's pronounced different ways. So no matter who was right or wrong, I hear all of them. So we're going to go from the roots of Gullah Geechee heritage to the International African American Museum, plus food, history, and it looks like waterfront views.
Oh, absolutely.
That are going to hit
Charleston is
different. So
very
space
nice.
is limited. Make sure you lock in your spot. Just go to our website. It's WVON.com. Look for Rufus, click on his face, and it'll take you right to it. All right. What else do we have? There's so much that we've done this summer. We're looking for volunteers.
To do what?
To volunteer.
To
I'll tell you.
volunteer and do.
Well,
teach the people. What
think
do we
about
need?
this. Like when we were at Ted London's spot on Thursday.
Wow, what an event! What a show!
Look, all I remember is the open bar. Okay, I remember the open bar. But I
And
will
the
tell
lobster,
you this:
he had lobster.
He had lobster,
all kind of
shish
seafood,
kebab. He had
salmon.
salmon shish kebab. Thanks for the salmon.
Everything
for
was
sure.
such. Ted London, he showed out.
He didn't spare anything. Absolutely. Pam Morris was there.
Yes.
And of course, we had Charlotte Roberts was there. It was good to see
Yes.
her. There were a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
of
I
different
knew
people
back
there.
1,000 years with
I
Charlotte.
know. There you go. Right.
And
She understands procurement.
Matthew knows.
Matthew knows. We interviewed him. He wasn't there, but he was there in spirit, and he gave a shout out to Ted London. So that was really cool.
That was awesome.
It was.
And we're gonna hook up with Matthew Knows
Oh,
or Beyonce and Solange's Dottie.
Yeah.
When
I got my ticket. You know, I roll with Larry Ivory.
Yeah.
All right. So watch this. When we do these things, volunteers that come out and help us set up, get to meet the people that we're meeting and be in a professional setting and make WVON as well-oiled as possible. That's what we need volunteers for. So if that's you, which it is, I know it's you, somebody's raising their hand like, how can I get involved?
I can see him now.
Email volunteer@wvon.com and just put in the subject, I want to volunteer or volunteer. Another thing I want to mention is our WVON app. If you download the app, it's free. Ron, I see you holding. Don't hang up like the other person did. But if you download our app, there's an open mic feature. I'm going to do a video to demonstrate that so everybody knows how to use it. But you can record anything and everything. You can say whatever you like.
Even to Atiba Buchanan.
Especially to Atiba Buchanan. So far, we've gotten a handful of well wishes to him, and he is still doing well. He texted me over the weekend. He's trying to work from home, right? He's like, hey, you should have this on the show. So I appreciate it because I'm not going to tell him, get off the phone, because he enjoys it.
He needs community.
He does. He needs community. So make sure you get on there and tell him what you want to tell him. But you can also say some things that you would like to say. Like, for instance, this mayoral race. I want to hear you guys hit that open mic feature and tell people who would make a great mayor, what would make a great mayor, what would you like to see in the next mayoral, should I say, term? What do you want? What changes do you want to see for the city of Chicago or the city that you're in? Leave it on the open mic feature. What do you want to see Brandon Johnson do? What do you want to see whoever is mayor do? We want to hear from you. I want to hear these things. So don't hide behind your phones and the internet and all that good stuff. Let your voice be heard. I don't think I'm missing anything else, but we are going to this break. And then when we come back, we're going straight to Ron. Ron, you are up. And of course, you guys can give us a call. 773-591-1690. And 5:30, we're going to be talking to a teenager that owns their very own bowling alley.
Wow.
I know.
That is hot.
It's been a year. We'll be right back.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This is Kamini Khan, certified financial planner professional. For the past year, I've been on a mission to change lives and build wealth in our community. Together, we're changing the paradigm. This year, I'm back with a new series, Wealth Strategies Money Talk. Join me every Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. on the Rufus Williams Show as we have thoughtful discussions around building wealth in our community. We'll discuss topics like investing, savings, tax strategies, retirement, and all things money. Yes, that's Tuesday at 8:30 a.m., so set those alarms. Also, be sure to check out the podcast at WVONwealthshow.com.
Tomini Khan is a certified financial planner professional with Optimal Planning Partners in alliance with Equitable Advisors, LLC member SIPC in Oak Brook, Illinois. For more information, please call 630-575-5046.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
It's Rufus Williams.
The radio keeps our ear to the pavement so we know what's going on in the community. And I got to say, what and how you've been doing it as my frat brother, but more importantly, what VON does, you are the new Ebony Jet that keeps our community connected.
Well, thanks. That's a huge compliment.
Weekdays at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
It's Rufus Williams. The thrill of summer is finally here, which also means it'll be over before we know it. This fall, the Rufus Williams Travel Club is heading to Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th. Join me as we experience the beauty, the brilliance, and the culture of one of America's most captivating cities. We'll enjoy the charm of the Lowcountry, breathtaking scenery, incredible cuisine, and the rich African-American history of Charleston. There will also be a few special surprises designed just for our group. So whether you're traveling alone, with family, or with friends, you'll be welcomed into an unforgettable experience filled with great people and great memories. Space is limited, and the best rates are right now. Simply go to WVON.com, click on the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner, and reserve your space. Advantage International is the official travel partner of the Rufus Williams Travel Club. Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th. Travel with people, travel with purpose, travel with us.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chi-Town. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. I'm Logan Page, and here's the Dan Ryan downtown to 95th. There is stop and go traffic, 21 minutes. I-57, right I-80, slow go, 17 minutes. Bishop Ford, right I-80, 94. Stop and go traffic, 22 minutes. Stevenson to Sabo Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, stop and go traffic, 30 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolf to Post Office, slow go, 31 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, bumper to bumper traffic, 47 minutes. And Eden's, Montrose Lake Cook, smooth sailing, 15 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago, strong storms possible. I-85 and a low of 69. Tomorrow, scattered storms. I-82 and a low of 67. It's currently 84 degrees and cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Keep trying to tell me
Welcome back. Use me, but don't use me. That's what I tell people. Use me, but don't use me. And they always correct me and say, you mean don't abuse me. No, I know what I said. Use me, but don't use me. You're listening to the afternoon show. Dr. LaDonna Raeh and State Rep Ken Dunkin in the building. What you chewing on, Ken? You got some candy or something?
No.
Smell like chicken.
Some garlic bagel chips with some hot sauce.
Oh, you always have the fun stuff, exotic stuff.
Exotic.
You know, somebody asked me.
By the way, we read these comments on this Facebook.
Absolutely, we do. And you know what? After we take Ron, we'll go ahead and start. We'll read a few of them. Hey, Ron, as I was going to tell you, when black people ask you, what do black people eat? And people are like, you know, you don't mind telling them chicken and watermelon, right? But if someone white asks you, so what do you guys want to eat? You say everything but chicken and watermelon, don't you?
No,
Oh, you say chicken and
Can I
watermelon?
that's a
can I
random
get in?
question. That's a Ron talk.
I,
That's
Yeah, thank you.
of course,
Uh,
that's random. Hi, Ron.
hey, yeah. But first of all, uh, I heard your guess on. I'm gonna get to the Tennessee State situation, but I wanted to enlighten her when she was talking about where you all are in a blue state. Yeah, in the last 5 years, record number of black people have left this blue state.
Yep.
So it's ineffective as maybe the black elected officials are there. Because, okay, that's a red state. So what's the excuse for these folks? Huh? This is a blue state. And black, so I want, so yeah, so I'm sorry that I didn't get, so you know wherever she's at, just stay there. Don't come here. Now you can go to another state. I don't know what the blacks are doing in Europe. I know I have the stats as far as black people leaving here. So I just wanted to say that. People
Give us
get
those
this
stats, Ron.
impression.
Give us
No,
those stats.
I'm just saying
The
it's record. I come try to get the 10 state, but it's record number of black people. And guess where they've gone?
To red states.
10, you know it. So just want to say that this misconception that these blue states and more accurate Democrats. I'm not talking about blue and red. These are Democrat-controlled states. You had speakers of the House. You got all kind of black folks running around in position of power, city, state, county, and black people's condition not improved. So now let me get to Tennessee State. One thing, because of the magnitude of this injustice, this needs to be national. So maybe she doesn't have enough leverage there, but the Congressional Black Caucus, because this impacts everybody. This needs to be handled on a national level. At least bring the issue to the forefront. That's what she needs to do. Because the Congressional Black Caucus can do something.
Absolutely.
I don't have much confidence in them either. So, but that's it,
No,
guys.
they
I
can-
just want.
Ron, they actually, whether you're in the minority or you're the majority controlling the House or the Senate, the right issues can make the day.
There you go, Ken.
You know,
there you go. At least bring the issue.
That's it, and bring it forcibly. And so
with some facts, yeah,
absolutely,
yeah, they got the power, but you still you have some leverage. I mean, and it's not that big of a difference as far as being in the minority as far as the House. But yeah, I would. That's what she should really do is see if they can lead. Because the more people talk about it, the book is good, but we need to bring some issues on a national level for us to get behind. You all have a good one.
Thank you, Brother Ron. Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Ron.
Yeah, that's a real issue, and I wish all the HBCUs will benefit with us standing up with that. And what's interesting is Donald Trump came out in his first term and really made permanent funding, regular funding for HBCUs. What was the young lady who was with him, the sister? The tall, dark-skinned sister. She was on his show.
On Apprentice?
Yes. She was in the White House with
I know
him.
what you're talking about.
Right. And so Manigault is her first last name. Well, her last name. Let me go back to these. Listen. Facebook Live. There are so many different dynamics and directions and perspectives when it comes to politics. Just because I'm not agreeing with you.
Omarosa,
yes. She played a major role in pushing Trump for HBC funding. And again, that needs to be a universal issue for whoever's running for president. But it is okay for me to not be aligned with what folk on Facebook want me to be aligned with. We're going to agree on some things, and sometimes we're not going to agree on things, Brother Wall. And thank you, Taya Morris. I don't have to agree with Brother Hall just to. I'm not seeking permission or approval, right? One thing I do know is policy, and I know policy formation, right? And so, but I would never let anyone hide behind their blackness to harm me or our community. to hide behind their blackness when there is no sense of direction, or when you are putting financial pain on the average person in the city, in the state, in the county, I'm going to speak out. You do not get a pass for overcharging me at the register, or property taxes, bag tax, gas tax, road tax, amusement tax, delivery tax. It makes no damn sense. And we need to be unified and very conscientious of us being priced out of the damn city and the state. And guess who's running the city and the state? Democrats. Democrats are running California, New York, New Jersey, Washington, Seattle. And everyone is leaving, going to a red state, as Ron just highlighted, because they can't afford to live here anymore. That's a real issue. And people have a right to challenge any mayoral candidate, any alderman, any elected official, quite frankly, the governor as well, based off of our pocketbooks. Don't ever fall for the okie doke merely because of your color. People want their pocketbooks or the kitchen tables, household issues of cost of living addressed. Hell, when they go to Texas, Tennessee, they get a 20 to 30% cost of living adjustment. So we should ask Brandon Johnson, Willie Wilson, John Kelly, Alexa Jones, everyone the same question. How are you going to bring down the cost of living? For real. And make tax reductions.
And is it possible? I mean,
Absolutely.
we've been talking about reverse migration for a minute. People migrated here and then they left here. And everyone's thriving in every other city but here.
Why is that?
Because we're not business friendly. We're not resident friendly. Because we tax the hell out of our residents.
Democrats are California, New York, New Jersey, Illinois.
Highest places to live.
I mean, crazy.
All right.
We're for the working family.
Yeah. Well,
Dang.
yeah, we're for the working family.
Scripts.
Getting the taxes. All right. We're going to go to break, guys. News, traffic, and weather. And when we come back, my guest said they don't. What?
I'm lingering on the last piece. You know what they do? They blame it on Trump.
No, they were blaming it before Trump. It's not that. We'll be back, guys.
Take things slow on this rainy day, Chi-Town. I'm Logan Page, and here's what's happening in your local and national news. 2 renovated Inglewood properties are welcoming new homeowners through the city's Rebuild program. The initiative is helping transform vacant or distressed properties into homes for Chicago residents. The project is part of broader efforts to invest in Inglewood neighborhoods and expand home ownership opportunities. In other news, Mayor Brandon Johnson is widely expected to run for re-elections, though the timing of his formal announcement remains unclear. WVON's intern, Kayla Patton, has more.
With 6 months left until voters decide on the mayor's race, Mayor Johnson has yet to announce whether he's seeking a second term. Live Monday morning on the Midday Show with WVON's Cleopatra Draper, the mayor seemed to deflect several of her attempts to get an answer.
Okay. That's clear, right? I mean, the city of Chicago is safer. The city of Chicago is becoming more affordable. Listen, it doesn't mean that we don't have our challenges.
Then when asked a second time, he said, there's more to be done.
I wish more Chicagoans could see the entire city of Chicago the way I've experienced.
And finally, when asked, he simply said that being mayor is one of the joys of his life.
What do you want from us? What do you want from Black Chicago?
Anthony, line 1.
There it is.
To make it on the 2027 ballot, filing petitions must be in by October 26th. Currently, there are nearly a dozen declared candidates vying for Mayor Johnson's job. Kayla Patton, Our News Now, 1690 WVON.
In other news, it's bad news on the injury front for one of the Chicago Bears wide receivers. ESPN's Adam Schefter is reporting that Luther Burden III will miss the entire preseason after suffering a groin injury in practice. The 2025 second-round pick was looking to have a breakout second season after catching 47 passes for 652 yards and 2 touchdowns as a rookie last year. The Bears believe Burden will have recovered in time for their season opener against Carolina. And a 7.4 magnitude earthquake has killed more than 100 people in Colombia, with rescue crews searching collapsed buildings for survivors. Officials say at least 20 buildings collapsed in Cali, while no major building collapses have been reported in Bogota. I'm Logan Page, and that's what's happening in your news now on WVON 1690 AM.
This summer, experience live music under the stars at Ravinia, everybody. Gladys Knight, Brian McKnight are going to headline, and they'll be joined by Chance the Rapper, and a special opening night gala performance featuring Lizzo with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. See great performances all season long, from legendary voices to hometown favorites. Ravinia brings unforgettable sounds to the summer stage. Get your tickets now at ravinia.org.
Beauty is more than style, it's a story, and now you get to hear it straight from the source. Solo Beauty Supply presents the Hair Tour radio show, coming to WVON Saturdays at 2 p.m. From Chicago to the West Coast, top salon owners pull back the curtain on the business, the culture, and the grind behind the chair. From building brands to shaping communities, this is where beauty meets boss moves. Tune in, tap in, and take notes. The Hair Tour radio show, Saturdays at 2 p.m. only on WVON.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th. Stop and go traffic, 20 minutes. I-57, Ryan's I-80, 2-minute delay. 16 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan's I-80, 94, stop and go traffic, 23 minutes. Stevenson to Sawmill Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State Slow Go, 29 minutes. Eisenhower Wolftown Post Office, 14-minute delay, 30 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic, 41 minutes. And Eden's just Lake Cook, smooth sailing, 15 minutes. Your weather for today: Chicago, strong storms possible. I-85 and a low of 69. Tomorrow, scattered storms. I-82 and a low of 67. It's currently 84 degrees and cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right. Welcome back. It's the afternoon show.
It is.
I tell you what, we've had quite the heated conversation mixed in with some information on how dare you.
By Dr. Glover.
I love Dr. Glenda Glover. She knows her stuff. And then the callers, of course, brung the noise, as I said. I'm saying brung the noise. So let's go ahead and want to get to our callers. And we got some comments. They're getting thick, Ken. I think you encouraged them to go ahead and place them. Because, you know, Tommy got something to say. But I'm going to go ahead and grab Mark. Hey, Mark, you're live on the afternoon show.
How y'all doing this evening?
Swelltastic.
Fantastic.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So I was just want to make a comment on, we talk about the property taxes. We talk about certain individuals, particular African Americans that's leaving the state of Illinois or the city of Chicago. I would say they doing it indirectly, and they find others. They find the information. They see other cities that are actually booming, and they go there. I don't think they really care if it's a red state or not, because if you want to, just say for example, you go to Houston, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big red state. But if they get the immunity, not the immunity, but if they get the amenities, the resources, it is affordable, I'm gonna leave. And if they got a good school district, I'm gonna go there too. So, but when we talk about Chicago, in order to help the Chicagoland people when it comes to property taxes in the schools, I think we just gonna have to start from square one. So that's my comment.
I appreciate that, Mark.
Yeah.
And Mark, you said one thing: affordability, cost of living. It's real, man. And people go there and they feel a sigh of relief. That's why a lot of people are even moving out of the country for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, so I had a list that I put together when we had talked about this, the reverse migration. Housing is number one reason why people leave Chicago. It's too expensive. Property taxes, rents even keep rising. The jobs, lack of jobs, the factories closed, union jobs disappeared, stable income turned into gig work here.
Right.
Schools, the closing of schools in
It's
2013.
It's a depopulation movement.
That was well that
Affordability is
but the
real.
schools began to be overcrowded after that. And it was almost like a forced integration from two different communities. It was a mess and it still is. Violence, it's always highlighted. Everybody's having these shootouts on the weekends when certain people are off work. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Haha.
And then, of course, gentrification and how the maps are strangely reshaped. Bronzeville, Woodlawn, parts of the South Side. It's ugly. All right, so Theo, I see you holding, but as promised, I wanted to get to our guest. I mentioned he bought his bowling alley for his teenage
Yeah, I
daughter.
want to hear this. This is
But
an interesting story.
she wasn't a teenager. She looked like a teenager, I'll tell you that. But she is definitely a young adult. So I want to bring them on real quick. Here we go. All right, here's my information. I had to make sure I could bring them on properly. So you've heard about billionaire entrepreneur Junior Bridgman when he purchased Ebony and Jet magazine out of bankruptcy in 2020 for $14 million. He wasn't just buying two publications.
Right.
He was buying his daughter something to have and hold on to. This week, another story of legacy caught my attention. 1 year ago, Bishop Dan Johnson purchased what was then Lansing Oaks Lanes and transformed it into Strikes and Bites and gifted the business to his young adult daughter. In just 12 months, the venue has become more than a bowling alley. It's created jobs, hosted community events, welcomed thousands of guests, and became a gathering place where families can celebrate birthdays, graduations, league championships, and life's everyday moments. This business may be different and it scales different, but the principle is almost exactly the same. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Bishop Dan Johnson. Hi, Bishop Dan Johnson. How are you?
Hey, LaDonna, Raeh in the building, y'all. How are you?
I'm doing swell-tastic. How are you?
Man, supernaturally, wonderfully well. I am so, so blessed. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to come on and talk shop with you.
Absolutely. Dan, I've known you for a long time and you've always been in business. You've always been in acquisitions. You've always been on that side of things, but you're also very much so into your faith and your family. And when I got word that you were doing this for your daughter, oh my goodness, all I could think about was how more families that look like us need to do this. We can definitely provide a place for families to get together and have fun safely. Tell us about your decision to do this for your daughter.
Well, every day we tell her it's your fault. My princess graduated from a school out of L.A., from the university. And then when she got back home at 21, after being here for a few, she said, Dad, I want to go back to L.A. to open up a business. And my response was, baby, you can't go to L.A. to open up a business and you haven't worked alongside of your father in business so I could raise you up to really, I told her to be a boss chick and raise her up to be a CEO.
Mm-hmm.
And so the deal was, let's identify a business that we can start, build it from the ground up together. And then after 5 years, we'll reconsider the next move. And so basically she said, you got it. And so we both like food. I've raised all of my kids to love the kitchen. And so we felt like food would be a part of it. And then one day I was walking past this building with a big sign for sale. It was non-operable at the time. And I went to my daughter and I said, what do you think about owning a bowling alley? And she said, I think that'd be fun. And 1 year later, here we are having fun.
I love it.
Man, that's awesome.
Isn't
First
it?
off, brother Dan Johnson, Bishop Dan Johnson, congratulations, man. That is the story of what dads want to hear,
Mm-hmm.
all right, especially for our daughters. And for her to say, yes, I'm down, and then turn it out into a success speaks volumes of you as well as her, of course. So shout out and kudos to you.
And a lot of
Thank you.
times it looks like, someone called in earlier. Ken, you remember when they said we used to own this, we used to own that gas stations
Right.
and things like that. But what we haven't really spoken about is how we don't own them anymore. Nobody came in and snatched the keys. Sometimes there's no succession plan.
Yeah, the legacy is an issue. So
Absolutely. So my question to you, Bishop Dan, is how do you groom your children into being business owners instead of being workers for the business? There's a difference. Like, let's say you own a business, but you want the kids to work in the business. Are you grooming them to take over one day, or are you grooming them just to work there, which is why they run away?
Well, actually, I don't own the business. My children own all of the businesses that we have. So I'm actually, when my middle son, who's 24 now, when he turned about 22, he took majority ownership of our general contracting company. And he's being groomed to take full ownership of that. And then my 14-year-old, he's 14 now, but when he was 13, he was responsible for hiring more than 75% of our existing staff.
wow.
And so,
Wow.
and so the thing is, I've been grooming them since they were children. I would take that 14-year-old with me on job sites. I would talk to him when he was 5 years old, and he would be telling me who to fire and why. And
Wow.
so now,
Were they
he
fair?
actually loves-
Was he fair?
he's always fair, but he's a very no-nonsense guy. When we're trying to figure out who's going to be responsible for terminating someone, he'll say, "I'll do it in a minute."
What?
Yeah, he doesn't play. And so, but even in all of our paperwork and everything, his decision-making power increases by the time he turns 22.
Wow.
And so that's really what I think we're talking about, legacy, right?
Yeah.
Legacy, most times we look at legacy based on what you leave. But I believe that legacy starts by what you live.
Okay.
And then you leave what you've lived. So when you ask
I agree with
how,
that.
I live this life with them. So when I go, it's not something that they are foreign to.
Mhm.
It's not something that they're new to, because they've been groomed in it by the way I live.
Ooh, that
And you
right there.
leave
This brother
what
dropping
you live.
gems.
He dropping gems. When we come back, we're going to go to break real quick. When we come back, we got Jim on the other side. I know he has a question for you, and I have one question for you as well, Dan. Guys, we're going to go to traffic and weather so that we can have time with him on the other side, and then we'll close right here on WVON.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Shop small with Wintrust Bank and celebrate the heart of our community, our local businesses. Listen as we share a list of small businesses throughout our community that we can shop, dine, and support throughout the year. These businesses are the economic engine that drives our neighborhoods. Wintrust knows that. That's why they're Chicago's bank and why they're encouraging you to shop local. Keep listening for the Wintrust Community Business Spotlight campaign. With Wintrust, shopping small is a big deal.
When you play the Illinois Lottery, you're generating funds that support education. No matter the prize, Illinois wins. Play all your favorite Illinois Lottery games today to help raise more for education. Be smart, play smart. Must be 18 years or older to play. Game odds available at IllinoisLottery.com.
Girl, where have you been?
My laundry got backed up. I had so much laundry I felt like the help, but I found the truth.
You became a Jehovah's Witness?
I found Clean Break. For less than the price of a good meal, Clean Break washed and folded my clothes and had them smelling fresh the way I like.
It's gotta be inexpensive. You know all the hookups.
Darn Skippy. I wasn't about to pay no $100 for 2 bags of clothes, and I caught the WVON discount.
Girl, sign me up. I'm sold.
Try Clean Break today for just $25 per bag, including pickup and delivery. Call 708-980-7886 or visit cleanbreak.com. That's KLEANBREAK.com. Clean Break, fresh clothes, more free time. Get your weekends back.
So fresh and so clean, break.
Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Wishing you safe travel, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown 95th, slow go, 18 minutes. I-57, Ryan I-80, slow go, 15 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan I-80, 94, stop and go, traffic 23 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive, to the Dry State, stop and go, traffic 27 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolfville Post Office, slow go, 27 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, bumper to bumper traffic 38 minutes in Eden, Cilantro Lake Cook, smooth sailing 15 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago, strong possible storms, high of 85 and a low of 69. Tomorrow, scattered storms, high of 82 and a low of 67. It's currently 83 degrees and cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
WVON is more than a radio station. We're your connection to Black America. That means we're everywhere. On Facebook at WVON, on Instagram at WVON, and on the WVON app. WVON is everywhere.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Say a little prayer for you. Come in my hand now. One little dress to wear. Now say a little prayer for you. Forever, you stay in my heart, and I will love you forever and ever. Wherever we want, nothing together, yeah, together, time must be to live without you. Would only be heartbreak for me.
And we are back. That's right. We're talking legacy in the Black family. Yep, we just titled it. Tell you what, we're talking to Bishop Dan Johnson, who purchased a bowling alley for his daughter, young adult daughter. All right. And he talked about, and thank you, Dan, for sharing these dropping these gems. You're like, hold up, I got shares. My kids have shares in the companies, the multiple companies. It makes
Hiring
sense.
and firing.
That's right. And you have to really understand that. And that makes people work, okay? Work to have something to leave to their children. I want to go ahead and grab Jim from Elgin. What question do you have for Bishop Dan Johnson? You're live.
Oh, here you go. Well, it's not more of a question. It's more of a just commending for the message that you're broadcasting. One of the reasons why I call in all the time at WVON is because people don't understand business, and it's good for people to understand that in order to have business, you have to be able to make money. And in Illinois, we essentially have a big sign that says businesses stay out. And that's why there's so many vacant stores and things in Chicago. So I'm glad to hear you talk about this, because the economic activity, it's like blood flowing through your veins. When you got more economic activity, it helps everybody. And so sadly, sometimes people say, oh, what's his name? Citadel went to Florida, like good riddance. Well, you know what? That company had a lot of high-paying employees that would shop and do things locally. Now they're down in Florida.
Absolutely.
So that means us people here in Chicago, we're not getting that economic activity. So thank you for your message, sir, and tell people they have to understand business in order to do better in life.
I love
That's
that.
right. Yeah.
That's a great,
we're on the same
great
page
kudos.
right there.
Absolutely. Ken, I know you have some questions because you've worked with businesses. And Dan, is really bringing us some information that we can probably take and pass down to the community or pass over into the community, I should say. What are your questions?
My question, Bishop Dan Johnson. First off, again, hats off to you, man, big time. What is it that if you had 2 requests from your state legislator and your county board commissioner to help facilitate business growth, just like you have for not just yourself, but for your legacy?
I think the first request is we got to do something with taxes. My taxes is about $71,000 a year on the property that I have.
What?
And now, because I've been able to build a working relationship with the village of Lansing, I was able to go in and they worked something out where they're reducing that, not significantly, I would say about 50% over the next 10 years. But after that 10-year, we have to reassess again.
Yep.
So I think, number one, that is part of the issue. The second thing is a lot of times the state get funding for small businesses that comes even from a federal level.
Yes.
And unfortunately, the definition for small business at large, to me is a joke. It's any business that has 500 employees or less, where 80% of all small business owners actually have 1 employee or less.
Right.
Meaning it's either they got 1 person working for them,
yes, or
they're just doing it on their own. But the funding doesn't get down to those particular the real true small businesses to help for business growth. So, for example, we hire 22 people. 22 people are on our payroll. We made a commitment that more than 50% will come from the community by which we're operating, and that is the village of Lansing and the surrounding areas. And so having various programs to help offset that cost. For example, the minimum wage here in the state of Illinois is twice as much as it is in Indiana. And so it really, between taxes and and minimum wage, which we want to pay everybody a fair wage. Matter of fact, everybody that works for me other than teenagers actually get paid above minimum wage. And so,
nice.
But having that extra support, I think, would be paramount.
You're spot on. And so, Donna, you and I vibe off this Larry Ivy as well.
Yeah.
Even Jim. We are the lifeblood of communities is commerce, it's enterprise, it's business
and
engagement.
Small business.
Right.
Yeah.
1,000%. When I was young, growing up, even in Cabrini, we were surrounded by businesses.
Absolutely. Yeah. Dan, I'm really glad to see that you're taking this matter into your own hands. But and just to close us out, I really want to ask you this. Did you always see this as your vision for your children? Or did you decide at some point after something happened for them to be the stakeholders?
Like I said, I've been grooming them. I never thought about owning a bowling alley. I never thought about owning a general contracting company. A lot of the businesses, I've owned restaurants and dry cleaners. None of them I thought about owning coming up as a child. When coming up as a child out of Inglewood, dealing with, drug addicted parents and molestation and all of those things I've dealt with. Coming out of that, all I thought about was that my children will never have to go through and suffer what I went through. And coming out of times where I didn't have food to eat and sleeping in cars, I thought about one day I'll grow up and I'll be able to feed those that was like me. And as we close, just to show to me, the power of small business ownership within our community. Within our first year, we fed 675 families for Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Yes.
We adopted 176 children that's suffering hardship similar to mine for Christmas and purchased 100% of everything they wanted on their Christmas wish list and gave each family an hour of bowling for free.
Come on.
And so, to me, I don't say it to impress you, but to impress upon the responsibility, I believe, for those of us that are able to open up businesses and build businesses that is being supported by the community. We have a responsibility, a moral responsibility, a cultural responsibility to give back to that same community that is helping us to live our lifestyles. And for me, it's really not about the lifestyle, but about the people that we could impact with the lives that God has blessed us to live.
Come
I
on,
love
now,
that,
Bishop.
Bishop. Thank you so
Jeez.
much. This was a powerful conversation
We should have
today.
this brother on for an hour.
I tell you, well, he'll be back. You know what? Much love to you. And, you know, I will be by there, actually. I need to get my bowl on.
How's the
okay?
food?
Yeah. What's up with the food?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we've been viral a couple of times with our food. We got chicken Phillies, we got turkey burgers, we got black bean burgers.
Oh, wait.
we got
You
garlic
had me a
parm
turkey
wings.
burger. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got black bean burgers, we got garlic parm wings. Me and my daughter created our own stripes and bite sauce that people buy by the bottle at times.
Come on now.
And so it's a great place to come. Stripesandbites.com.
I
My
love
shameless plug.
Love it.
All right. Well, look,
up, man?
you plugging. I'm gonna have
All
to
right.
plug you with our sales team. They're gonna be calling you. I
he's
promise
definitely
you.
on WVON.
Hey, listen, I remember I used to be the general sales manager of WVON. So
I know.
exactly how that works.
I know. All right. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you
Bishop
so much.
Dan, congratulations. That 1 year anniversary to you and your family. We wish you many more years. I can't wait till you guys celebrate your 100th year. Of course, we won't be here, but at least you got the footprint going. Thank you so much, sir.
Good stuff.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
We
Bye
will
for
be
now.
back. That's it for the afternoon show. We are going to be back tomorrow
Mañana.
at 3. Not in the morning. That's mañana's in the morning, but we'll be back at 3. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys. Thank you so much for all of the comments, and make sure you keep them coming and share the show. We'll see you. That's it. Dr. LaDonna Raeh, Ken Dunkin.
Ken Dunkin right here. Thank you,
State
LaDonna.
Rep Ken Dunkin. Bye-bye for now.
Good evening, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. New Illinois laws take effect. Johnson expected to seek re-election. Austin Green Line Station reopens. FEMA sends water aid to Puerto Rico. And Roger Craig reveals dementia diagnosis. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
President Trump has signed new executive orders aimed at limiting birthright citizenship and curbing so-called birth tourism. The actions are expected to face immediate legal challenges, with critics arguing they conflict with longstanding interpretations of the 14th Amendment. And Austin PA University professor Darren Michael is suing Tennessee gubernatorial candidate Marsha Blackburn, alleging she pressured the school to